Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are on the planet. I hope you're doing well. Brooksy's Bass Corner, live chat 124. And here we are, celebrating the 5th anniversary of the channel. It's not actually today. It'll be on Thursday in 2 days' time. That'll be the date I first uploaded a video. But anyway, I thought, seeing as tonight was the closest regular Tuesday night live chat, we would have a little celebration. So I hope you're all safe and well out there. Thank you very much for attending tonight's live chat. If you've not been on one of these before, you're very welcome. We're broadcasting from London, here in the UK, going out all around the world. Gonna have a few people coming in and out of the live chat. I've invited a stellar cast of bass playing luminaries. Unfortunately, most of them are busy. But I thought that might be the case. But not to worry, we will carry on anyway. We've had humble absentee messages from the likes of Lee Sklar. I've not heard back from Neil Fairclough, funnily enough. Let's just check the phone. He tends to communicate via WhatsApp predominantly. Let's see. No, he hasn't replied yet. That doesn't mean he won't. He may. That can still change. We have a video message courtesy of Chris Childs of Thunder. I did invite him a little late, it has to be said, but he said, I'm really busy, but I'll do you a little video. I said, no, video's cool. So I'll show you that a little later on. So if you've not been here on a Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat before, you're amongst friends, come on in. We're talking basses, bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, great bass playing, great bass players, albums with great bass players and great bass playing on, no less. Anything to do with bass, come and ask us. If you've got a question or you're looking for some information or some advice or some guidance regarding basses, come on in, ask me. If I don't know the answer and I can't help you, I'm sure one of the fine people who frequent the Brooksy's Bass Corner live chats week on week will be able to help you. Between one of us, we'll get it, okay? You know, we'll be able to help you one way or another. So if you've not been here before, you're very welcome. This is the video window. If you're on the mobile app, the live chat window is directly below. So you type in your message, press send, it'll appear here in my chat window. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way, yeah? At the bottom of that live chat window, you'll see a little box that says chat or comment or whatever it says for you. I'm on StreamYard, so it's different depending on what platform you're watching on. And we are broadcasting out to not only YouTube, but Facebook and Instagram tonight. So good evening to all the Facebookers and Instagrammers out there. Hope you're all doing very well. Hope you're having a good evening. Hope your bass playing's going great. So, as I said, in the live chat window, there's a square rectangular box at the bottom filled with HOV. You're only hearing you through my left ear. Hold on. How's that? Any better? Maybe not. Let's try that. We'll try that as well. See how that gets you. Ah, okay. Could be a problem on your end, Phil. I'll come to the chat window shortly. But anyway, you post your comment or question in the chat box at the bottom of the live chat window. Press send. It appears here in my live feed. I can then respond to it. There's someone with a very odd name there. Anyway, we'll come back to that shortly. Next to that, you'll see an emoji icon. Feel free to give that an absolute pummeling. It helps the video, helps the channel, helps me, pushes the video in the eyes of the YouTube algorithm. So give the emoji icon a complete leathering. Okay, feel free to do that. Next to that, you see a rectangle with a dollar symbol in. That's called Super Chat. So if you wish to help the channel, help me, all the things you see here on the channel, the microphones, plural, leads, stands, lights, boom stands, basses, pedals, amps, cables, headphones, audio interfaces, all the stuff you see on the workshop videos, I pay for that, comes out of my pocket. So if you want to help the channel, there's a super chat option there, the love heart in the rectangle. But on every video here on Brooks's Bass Corner, underneath the video window, you'll see a row of icons. Now, one of those icons is a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's called Super Thanks. Super Thanks, Super Chat working exactly the same way. Okay, it's the same thing. Just Super Thanks exists for every single video here on the channel. Super Chat exists when we're in live chat mode. So if you want to help me, help the channel, help the videos within the algorithm, you can make a donation to the channel. I'm not begging for money, but if you want to help the videos, it helps with the algorithm. It pushes things along. Very much appreciated. I'll say that in advance. Now, underneath where the icons are, you'll see the description box. In there, you'll find timestamps, probably from about midday tomorrow when this live chat uploads to YouTube. The timestamps allow you to jump through the video. So usually our live chats are about 3 hours long. If you don't want to watch the whole 3 hours, you can watch it on a faster video speed. So you can double the speed, watch it in half the time. Or alternatively, the timestamps allow you to jump through. So on the, if you like, the time frame at the bottom of each video, it's a red line. You'll see tomorrow, once I put those timestamps up, that red line is notched. Basically, every time we change topic or a different question or something of interest, you can jump to that notch. Now, you can do it on the timeline, or you can go in the description box, look at the timestamps, click on the time stamp, the individual timestamp, and it'll allow you to jump through to the different sections on the video. After that, you'll find affiliate links for Brooks's Bass Corner merch. If you want to buy merch, we've got t-shirts, caps, glasses, mugs, mouse mats, phone cases, tons of stuff. There's about 170 products on there. There's 15 different designs. If you want to help the channel, buy merch through the affiliate site is very handy, and you get something for your outlay. So if you want to buy a t-shirt, I don't get the full amount. I get an affiliate amount. You get a t-shirt and you help the channel in the process. After that, you'll find affiliate links for the Bass Centre here in the UK. Also affiliate links for Top Cashback, vidIQ and StreamYard. After that, if you've got any bass related purchases coming your way, so if you're looking at a new bass, amp, combo, speaker, accessories, effects, strings, gig bags, any of that sort of thing, there are affiliate links there for Amazon worldwide, Thomann and Anderton's here in the UK, although they ship worldwide, of course. And then after that, you'll find social media links. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, no longer on Twitter X, so you can forget that, BeReal, Reddit, Quora, TikTok, and Discord. There we go. That's how all that works. I did say underneath the video window, you'll see a row of icons. There's a thumbs up and a thumbs down. The thumbs up is the most important thing you can do for me, for the channel, for this live chat, and all videos across the whole channel. Thumbs ups are the most important thing. I don't ask people to subscribe. You can if you wish. It's very much appreciated if you do, but I don't sort of nag on the fact that, oh, I'd love you to hit the subscribe button. I'd rather you hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's literally where the thumbs up is. Hit that. Best thing you can do for the video. It then really pushes the video within the eyes of the YouTube algorithm. The live chat gets pushed out to more and more bass players, and then we have more and more bass players coming on the live chat, and we have more knowledge and we can solve more problems. There we go. That's how that all works. If you're going to give the video a thumbs down, then please leave a comment in the comment section. I can't make the videos better if I don't know what the problem is. But if there's something you don't like on the channel or the videos or the live chat specifically, then let me know. There we go. That's how all that works. Right, let's get into these messages. Dawson, happy 5th anniversary. Thank you very much, young man. Bless you. Obviously, I've got to say, anyone wants to join the live chat live, I can see young Jamie's there already. You can join us live, whether it's by video or audio. It's up to you. Just email me. There's a ticker running along the top of the screen. Email me, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. Once I get your email, I send you an invite. You click on the invite and you come to screen. Simple as that. So if you want to talk bass, talk about some of Jamie's shorts. I'm not talking about his clothing. I'm talking about his lovely videos that he does on his channel, same as I do. You want to talk about anything you might have seen on his channel, my channel. You want to talk JDs, you want to talk Rickenbackers, he's your man. That's why we get him here. Right, let's have a look. Messages here. There's Jamie there, in there. That's good. That's lovely. No cake. Right, we're not doing cake tonight because I've had a huge dinner and I've had dessert. So we're having wine tonight. We will do cake on Thursday, which will be the official 5th anniversary day of the channel. Gareth Harrison, good to see you. Welcome. Beat after beat. Welcome back. Good to see you. So we've got here. Right, Sam Gray, very sweet gay man, nearly 40. Okay, you're welcome here. We're talking bass guitars, so if that's your thing, feel free to get involved in the conversation. I can see lots of people talking there. So there's Phil de Hove. Hopefully that's sorted out the sound in your ears. Thank you for the congratulations. Bless you. I hope you've sorted that, Phil, the old left and right stereo thing. Leathering has begun. I get worried when you say these things because I don't know what's going to happen next. Phil, just saying, him the lad in both ears here. Very good. Matt Van Zanten, good to see you. I'm ready to go on stage now, so not in the chat today. You have a good show. Check in with us later. Let us know how it's all going on. West Fork, good to see you. Saw you post on a status group on Facebook. You're looking for another bass. I thought we dealt with that. I thought you were going to keep the one you got. Bill Derbyshire, good to see you. Thank you for the congratulations. Bill was one of the original subscribers to this channel. I can remember sending him a subscribe request literally the day I launched. So thank you very much, Bill. You've been here for the duration. Bless you. Lots of people saying hello. That's all good. What happened to ex Twitter presence? Got very little response on there. Posted probably about 100 posts. Never really got anywhere with it. The number of followers was really low. No one ever conversed. I don't think I ever got more than one message on a post. And then with old, I'm going to say it, silly bollocks, old George, buying it, being a dick, and then using it to basically push Trump through government. And I wasn't going to partake in that anymore. But it was more to do with the fact it never got anywhere for the channel. Like I say, posted up probably 100 posts. Nothing. It just became a chore in the end. So yeah, it was just, what's the point? And I wasn't going to support Elon Musk. So that was the end of that. Gareth, you reacquainted yourself. I'm sure you did. Live and Dangerous. Now there's an album. Had it on repeat most of the week. It's fabulous, isn't it? Shame most of it isn't live, but great album. Great band. Enough said. Cake is a made-up drug. Well, yeah, I just thought, well, I could see that I was going to do another live chat later this week, and I thought, well, I can have wine tonight, I can have cake another night. That's all good. And also, if I buy a cake in this house, I'm the only one that eats it. The other half doesn't eat cake, so I'm lumbered with it, and trying to get myself a little trimmer at the moment. So doing a load of work on my knees and calves because I've got a dodgy right knee and a problematic left calf. So trying to keep all of that down as much as possible. Someone's just messaged me. Yes, you may, Bill Derbyshire. Let me get you an invite. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. You may. I'll send you that. There we go. That's off to you. Excellent stuff. Right. While we got Phil de Hove here, please, ladies and gentlemen, go and check out his YouTube channel. Very good, very informative, a lovely chap, fine bass player. Westford, you love the video on that JD. He's talking to Jamie. Very good. Yep. There we go. Now, Westford, you had a bit of a result last week, didn't you? You went to see Level 42 in Germany. Got your bass plates, back plates signed. Well done, sir. Bit of diligence there. How was Mark? Hope everything was good. I don't know if you met any of the other members of the band, so let us know how you got on. All good. Right, let's get the headphones on. We'll get these two fine looking models of health and fitness on there, and we'll get cracking. There's young James. There's the lovely Richard. Let's just do that. And there we go. And there's Bill. There's old Smiler. Excellent. We're all there. There we are.
Evening,
Hi.
Mike.
All right.
Hello.
Hope everyone's good. How's your week's been?
Pink.
Quiet. Rich and varied.
Okay.
Very quiet.
Jamie?
Yes.
Oh, sound.
Pink JD at the local shop, right?
Yes.
What's that?
Yeah. Your sound dropped out.
Now not sure why. It's probably something in the air. No, I had to go. It could be. I had to go on the Pink George Anderson 24.
Mm-hmm.
Popped the video up in a little sweet and short and all that. I just tried to make it simple because, of course, I was sitting in the shop with it, and he wouldn't give me a trace to run it through, but I made do with what was there. He had trace Elliott's. I just couldn't get to it from where I was.
Right, got it. Phil, I've just turned off, there was some settings to do with audio in StreamYard. I've just adjusted them. Hopefully that will have sorted it out. I hope.
Okay.
I hope. Can you three hear me in stereo?
I can hear you.
Yeah, you're fine, yeah.
There we go.
Clearly.
Yep.
Must be all that technology you got, Phil. Maybe you've unplugged something. Or maybe you've changed the setting. Maybe panned left or right and not compensated. Before we go any further, as I said, we've got a lovely little message from Chris Child. So let's play that before further ado.
Hello, mate. Sorry I can't join you tonight, but I'd just like to wish you a happy 5th anniversary, and may there be many more. I can't believe it's 5 years since you started it. I wish I could have got along to a few more of them, but I'm a busy boy, and I'm pleased to be able to say that. So happy 5th anniversary. See you soon.
Bless him. Lovely chap.
Very nice.
He often says, "Oh, I'll come on the live chat. I'll come on the live chat. Yeah." And then when we get to showtime, he's like, "I can't do it. I can't. I'm going to be driving, or I'm doing this, or doing that." People who don't know, there's probably a lot of people in the US going, "Who the hell is that?" That's Chris Childs. He plays for Thunder. He plays for the Ultimate Eagles. He plays for, just so much stuff. He was a session player for Andy Summers, Go West. Did loads of sessions. Then Jericho. He's a busy boy. Just constantly busy. Constantly recording, writing, doing video work, engineer. Just so much. He's just a very busy man, but a lovely chap. And hopefully one week he'll come on here and come and talk bass. He's always up for that. So it's just a scheduling thing. Same with Lee Sklar. He was going to pop on tonight. He said, "I'm just flat out today. I'll try and be there another week." So he will pop on at some point. Let's just go through this. Phil DeHove, coming through. It was the StreamYard software. Yeah. Westford, everything was very good. Unfortunately, I couldn't meet Mark, but a lovely musician from the first band proposed me to get something signed by the level 42 members. See, I couldn't have helped you because I was in the middle of a gig, but I would have got the drum tech to come and find you if we'd been able to sort of communicate. And he would have come and sorted it out. He probably would have brought Mark out, to be fair, but never mind. Next time, Westford, there's plenty more gigs, don't worry. So there we go. 5th anniversary tonight. I'm very happy for people to we can just talk anything you want. But if people have got anything they want to talk about regarding the channel, videos they've enjoyed, videos they didn't enjoy, the live chats, it's a free space tonight, gents. You can talk about whatever you want.
Do you have any comeback from Scott's bass lessons at all?
No, nothing. I'm too small for them to even. I'm not. If someone said to Scott, "Do you know Mike Brooks?" He'd go, "No." Probably wouldn't even register. I don't worry about those things. In my lifetime, it's highly unlikely this channel is even going to get to within touching distance of the hem, the cloth of their garments. Just don't. I can't sit there worrying about it. It is what it is.
With regards to Mr. Mark King,
yes,
I found out a couple of days ago he's left-handed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That always fascinates me, like Mark Knopfler and all these sort of left-handed people who learn to play right-hand.
Some of people always go on about the drumming thing and the dexterous nature of his playing. I put a lot of that down to him being left-handed and playing right, because basically anyone who's right-handed will know you have far more finger independence than you have on that hand. So if you suddenly flipped it round, if you think about it, his fretting hand is now his predominant flexible finger independent hand. No wonder he can do a lot of that fast stuff, because really this isn't doing, you know, it does what it does, but the real meat and potatoes is in your fretting hand.
Definitely.
And he's got his preferred hand is his fretting hand, so you know, it's a bit like if someone go on.
And of course the thought that is there any such thing as a left-handed piano where the actual upper notes have been moved over?
Well,
no,
there you go.
so
No, I don't think so.
why, you know?
I guess it's just design, isn't it? It's just the way the instrument's been designed. And I mean, I've heard him drum. There's that clip of King of the Pier where he's doing a bit of drumming, but there was a video not long after the 2011 London bass show where he was playing drums in the pub across the road, and Dave Marks, who was used to be a writer for the mag, Dave's done all sorts of things, he was the compere for the master classes and the live stage. He went over to the pub because it was the first London bass show they'd done. Mark got up and played drums and Dave did bass, and there was video of it. Someone filmed it and it was all like you know, Dave couldn't believe his luck. It's like one of his bass playing heroes, and he's playing bass, and the guy he looks up to is doing drums behind him, and he was no slouch by all accounts. So yeah, but for some reason that video isn't online, or I haven't seen it in a long time, but it was there for a good 6 months after the show.
So can we start off with our weeks?
You can.
I can. Okay, thank you.
You can. You may.
Go right ahead. Oh,
So
I'm going to pour wine.
Okay. Pour wine. Scary.
Yeah.
So I actually went on Wednesday and picked up my Ray,
Yeah.
which had the different pickup in it, which has now been changed back to the Aguilar, which is actually great.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, Mike, you've actually got one, don't you?
Yeah. That's what's in my 4-string StingRay. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's a lovely pickup.
Absolutely.
Lovely pickup.
Yeah.
And the
So
thing is, you'd think there wouldn't be that much difference between it and a regular StingRay pickup.
huge
There
difference.
is. There
It's
is.
even.
Yeah. And it's got a smoother, it's less of that clank and a smoother
Yes.
mid-range.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It's brilliant.
You've got all the bite you'd expect of a StingRay without all the snarl and clankiness that when you start on especially on a 3-band, when you start boosting those mids, it can get just too much. This sort of reins some of that in. So when you do start adding mids, it's like a smoother tone, smoother transition through the frequencies.
So on Friday, I was playing in Torquay, and it took me 10 hours to get there. Holiday traffic.
I warned you.
Goodness.
Warned you.
time to ride the train.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you very much for turning up on tonight. Very good. 124 live chats.
Cheers.
Not counting the impromptu ones, it's about 160. But there we are.
Oh yeah, about
Roll
that.
on.
Yes,
Roll on the next 5.
absolutely. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes. So I actually drove for sort of 10 hours in, of course, queues and jams to get there. 2-hour show, 3.5 hours back, and lots of sleep afterwards. So.
Quite. I did follow some of your things you've been doing with that bass on Bass Chat. So
Yes,
you're finally
yes.
at a situation now. So you got rid of the single coil.
Yes, it's gone.
You've got a plate over it, so you just see
Yes.
the regular humbucker.
That's right. Yeah.
And you've got 3-band EQ.
2-band. It's
two.
got it's got an OBP2 in it.
Yeah. So you've got a balance control that's switching between the coils within the humbucker.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
It's
is
a different setup,
all right.
obviously. Yeah.
Different, but yeah, it works.
Good.
And it sounds brilliant.
That's the fella.
Yeah. And
Exactly the
generally,
bass you wanted.
Hmm?
Exactly like the bass you wanted.
More
Now that you've
than,
done
I
the
think.
mods. Now that you've done the mods.
More than, because I was actually looking for one of the about 2013 StingRay classics, but this is actually better. So,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So, yeah, nice.
And it's staying in the fold?
It is, yes. It is extremely good.
Good.
Sounds awesome.
I mean, it's a lovely looking
Yeah, it is, yeah.
example. Those mid-90s ones.
Yeah,
the natural fit, they had really good timber choices for the bodies.
Yeah,
so
they did, yeah.
It looks lovely.
Yeah.
Through
So,
there.
yeah.
Very good. So next thing on the list? What's next?
Nothing at the moment. No.
No more 10-hour drives cross country.
Not that I can think of, no. The next jobs are at the Warners near Hereford, Holm Lacey.
Yes.
End of this week on Friday. So more Everleys and Buddy Holly and everybody else.
Very good.
On Friday, and a couple more jobs this month, a couple of duo jobs. Duo is actually coming on brilliantly, so
splendid.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. All is tidy.
That's what we like to hear. I can see some messages here. Gareth Harrison, did anyone watch Charles Berthoud's interview with Victor Wooten?
I did, yeah. Yes.
Okay. And I haven't seen it. I don't.
In general terms, he was talking about his, I can't think what it's called. The issue he has
fingers
grip, yeah. Yeah. And it was sort of sad in a way, but, warming. And I think that he did sort of name Charles as the sort of heir sort of thing almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well.
Focal dystonia.
Oh, well.
Focal dystonia. Thank you,
Keith just dropped it in the chat. So Keith already 2 points made.
Well
excellent.
done.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Westport. So this obviously went to level 42 at the weekend. I was like a monkey dancing, jumping and singing during the gig. I can remember the glory days. And I was the only young person, so it was a blast seeing the members of level 42 looking at me with a big smile. Or was it a lady with a sizable chest next to you? No, I'm being facetious. Don't worry.
Cheeky monkey. Cheeky monkey.
Question is, was Wes playing an invisible JD all night?
Ah, well, there we go. There we go. That's the thing, isn't it? Yes, we all did it. We all did it in our younger days.
We did.
Westport, yes, next time level 42 passes by close to where I live, I will definitely go see them again. Very good. Very good.
Very good.
Yeah. Westport, and you got his thumb tape as well. Well, there you go. It doesn't stay sticky forever, so enjoy it while it's there. Keith Dougherty, focal dystonia. Very good. Good to see you, Keith. Welcome. Westport, my God, it's useful. Makes your thumb bounce like crazy. You can use any tape. This is, so basically, we all know why he wore that, because he split his thumb and it stops it breaking open. But what it does do is it adds weight to your thumb. So if your slapping technique has progressed far enough that you're able to make your thumb bounce very quick, it adds weight, which makes your thumb bounce quicker.
Yeah.
That's when we were all young and we needed to know all this stuff, and Mark wouldn't tell you in interviews what the tape was and all of that.
Yeah.
it makes a difference. Get some gaffer tape. Well, you've got some now. You've got his, but if you wind any gaffer tape on your thumb, exactly, pink numbers are available. It makes your thumb heavier, and which makes when you play the strings, it bounces off and comes back quicker. It's a minimal thing. Yeah, I don't use tape. I never felt a need to use that. But the only other thing is if you don't wind it properly and accurately, you end up, as you keep hitting the strings, it folds over itself and you start getting all the adhesive on the strings and your strings die. Doesn't matter to Mark. He's got a bloke there changing them for him after every 4 songs or whatever it is these days. But I'm just telling you from someone that's seen someone do all of that and then they've gone, oh, my strings have died. And then it's all coated in glue on one section. That's the downside. Rock fan, good to see you too. Hope you're well. Hang on, what's that? Can't post comments to some. What are you telling me? Yeah, well, I'm not posting on. Oh, I see. It's a nonsense, isn't it? Right. Very good. Chat platform support. No, I don't need that, do I? Just close that off. Thank you. Sorry, I can see something on StreamYard you guys can't, and it's trying to tell me that when I post a comment in the chat window, it'll go to some platforms but not others. So, Lord knows what that's all about. But there we are.
Rubbish.
So yes, any new purchases at Shea Bill? Oh, you're gone quiet. You've muted yourself.
Your mic's on, off even.
It's all gone a bit wrong, isn't it? Can't hear you.
Can't read lips from a distance.
I've got you on full whack.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
No.
Oh,
there you
there
are.
we go. There we
Yeah,
got you.
you're on.
I've been moving stuff on, actually. I've actually... I flogged a Phil Jones bass amplifier, which I never thought I'd do because of being such a fan of the stuff. But it was a Session 77 combo, and this lovely man from Aylesbury came, who'd had 6 strokes and was still able. 6 strokes.
Good for him.
His speech was quite impaired, but he could still play the bass.
Yeah.
Absolutely flipping awesome. So I helped him to the car with it.
Dues for him.
He wasn't driving; somebody else was. But amazing that after 6 strokes, he's still got full movement.
Yeah, brilliant.
In his arms, he's a bit unsteady on his feet, but yeah. So no new purchases on the horizon as yet. Okay. But then that doesn't anything can crop up at any time and come flying.
Don't we know?
Absolutely. Yes, you'll just be. I was on Bass Brothers earlier today, and I saw
Danger Will Robinson.
It's a dangerous
warning.
You'll like your JDs, and there was a rather nice sort of looking JD in there. In fact, 2.
Don't worry, I'll be checking it out soon.
Yeah. Has he still not done you that video?
I thought of you as soon as I saw it. Coming over, I bet he'll
he will be. Oh, no worries about that.
Yeah.
We'll have a Bosch on it, don't worry.
I played a JD, so I don't know. I obviously hear wonderful things about them from you good people. Never played one, so I'll have to get a try.
Actually, can I just interject very quickly?
Of course. Yeah.
I got this week in the post from Amazon. All right. I ordered 1 spare B string for my bass, and paid about £18. Right.
Okay.
And in the post came a whole box of 4.
Hang on, £18 for 1 string.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Elixirs. But what came was a whole box of 4 of them.
Nice.
4 Bs.
Okay.
Oh, well, there you go.
You're set for the year.
That should see you for about 5 years, I think, probably.
10, probably, I think.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, it is just an elaborate thumb rest, of course.
Technically speaking, yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we like. That's what we call around here a Brooksy bonus.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
Indeed.
Very, very pleased with that. That's good stuff.
Better than my Amazon delivery today. Then
What was that then?
I ordered some
What's
shims.
yours?
I ordered some shims, only £8 worth, 12 little shims that because I build the odd base night. Yeah. So it came through. Opened up the big envelope. Opened up the package. Nothing in it at all. Not a thing. Nothing.
Bizarre. They didn't put them in.
Not a good package on that one. No.
The package inside the envelope is obviously split down the side, and whoever's put it in the envelope has dropped the little shims all over the floor and just put the envelope in. So
Oops.
I've been refunded and reordered. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed for round 2.
Right.
Yeah, so I can adjust the necks on some of these silly things that I've been, for fun.
Good
know.
stuff. I don't think I've had anything from Amazon in a while.
Me neither,
Base
actually.
related.
Right.
Not base related.
I think my good coming from Amazon every other day.
Well, yeah, I think the other half has a personalised conveyor belt. It's like a generation game around here. Every 5 minutes, bloke knocking at the door with another delivery.
Well, she can order what she likes because she knows that because I'm retired. I'm in every day, so
there you go.
Somebody there to collect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, there's your favourite base. Look.
There you go.
W.
Yeah.
The W base.
The overbalanced. Yeah. Just like I've got. Got to get on with that. Got to find a solution for that.
Oh, I see. So if, of course, people play a duff, note or, of course, chord, you just sort of turn it and go, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the way to go about it.
I just say it stands for something that, something rude.
Well, could do, yeah.
Well, it could be this in long form.
Yeah.
That.
Right.
That's it, yeah.
My words are
Yeah,
Double bum, yes.
Yeah.
Westford says he met some lovely German level 42 fans also. Overall, it was a great trip. Very good. Well done, sir. Glad you enjoyed it.
So, Jamie, did you buy anything pink this week?
No, I'm actually holding off until I come along.
Oh.
So,
although to go now.
Order.
Well, you never can tell what appears magically, So, no, but I had like I said earlier, I had to go on that JD, and it was, I have first right of refusal on it.
Yeah.
So of course, he sent me the photos of it right when he made the deal, and he says this is coming before he told anybody. So I said, well, I'll come down, have a go, and we'll do all this. And it's funny because I posted the video clip all across all the spots. And a guy, I think he's in New York, his name is Ed. He's got a Series 3 in pink. And next thing I know, he's like, look. I'm like, I know you've got that, right? And there's a guy who calls himself, he affectionately calls himself an expatriate. He lives in Canada, I believe, and he's got a pink one. Or he lives in New York, one of the two. And so, well, so the pink ones come out of the woodwork as soon as one appears.
Oh, I see. So are you potentially coming through with an empty case?
Actually, it's funny you should say that. What's interesting is there's one that we've spoken briefly about that's going to come along back this way with me. Yeah. There's another one that's in the wings, but it needs some love, shall we say, to go along with it, to go along with the paint job, and frets, because I don't think you can have too many fretteds, but you can have too many fretless.
Yeah, I think generally, in terms of fretless, probably one is enough, isn't it?
Well, in my case, it'll probably be more like 3, but
yeah.
Because I've already got the blinding one sitting over here, and then of course the one that's coming along back this way is not pink, but it is fretless.
In actual fact, that could be danger point for me because that's the one thing I don't have.
Well, all righty then. No, so there's a guy who's hanging onto one for me.
Yeah.
That is very basic, but it shall not be when I'm done with it. And that one's coming down the way. It'll probably be something even more blinding than this one is.
Yeah.
And then I'll have frets and whatnot. But we'll see. You'll see when we have curry. Trust me.
Excellent.
Yes, as the smoke is rising off your head. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently,
the
we're
smoke is
laying
rising
places
off your
at the
head.
table for certain bases.
That's right.
I just hope they cough up for the poppadoms, you know.
Indeed. So, in any case, no, nothing pink has been acquired recently, although there are things coming.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
Concise. Very good.
Well, I've got to deliver this lovely pink boa strap to Squire Brooks. So I mean, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
You can keep that. You're all right.
That one has to go on his JD just for effect, of course.
You keep hold of that.
It has to go on his black P bass at the actual next Queen gig.
Yeah.
Should I get him the matching?
Looks I'll get. Yeah.
Oh, should I get him the matching socks to go with it though?
Absolutely.
Okay, Bill says agreed. Done.
As well, yeah.
Done. All right. The Court of Pink is now in session. Lord Pinkbase presiding. Yes.
We. What nonsense. We have communication from Neil Fairclough. Apparently can't make it this evening. His good lady wife is out and he's looking after the kids. So he can't join us. But he sends love and best wishes.
Very nice.
Well done, sir. Lovely. He could well be watching on his telly. I don't know. But it's all good. It's all good. It is. It's just gone 20 to 9 here in London town here. This is Brooks's Base Corner. Live chat 124. 124 of these. I can't believe it, really.
Lovely.
It's mental. 5 years ago, we weren't even doing live chats. That was like a distant dream. Because at that time, you couldn't do a live chat until I think you got over 500 subscribers. It took a lot of graft to get there. That's for sure. And I'd be amazed how many people, because my original subscribers were friends, family, and acquaintances and all that. I wonder how many from the very first day still subscribed up. I'm sure you are, Saul Watson. I'm sure you are.
Saul
James
Watson,
Howard, good to see
the
you.
king of the attitude. Yes.
Yes, Jamie and Saul know each other, of course.
Yes, we do.
Big Sheehan fans.
Absolutely.
Have you seen Mr. Sheehan this week?
Not this week. We had Curry a couple of weeks back, and that was he's out and about, running off to Canada and running here, there, and everywhere. So.
Yeah, he's out with that. Is it the Fell, the Fallen,
the Fell,
the Fell, even
Fell. Yeah.
I've seen him post up a few things about that. That was something he got into while we were in lockdown.
Yep.
But it seems to work very intermittently, from what I can see. They don't sort of tend to be continuously working. They do a bit of writing and recording and put something out and do nothing for a couple of years and then do a bit more. So,
right. There's a few like that around.
You tell me.
Well, that's probably about par for the course, I'd say.
Yeah. He does seem to be in a lot of different projects.
People request, and he makes himself available for, if he's up for it, he'll do it.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, so tonight's obviously the 5th anniversary of the channel. I'm just asking for people for their thoughts. You know, here we are. I've done 5 years worth of, well, bizarrely enough, I got a thing through from vidIQ about 20 minutes before we went live to say, congratulations, you've posted up your 800th video. So not only are we 5 years old, we've done 800 videos. So
nice.
There's a lot of stuff there. So if people have comments about videos they've liked and things they haven't liked and things they might like to see on the channel, and
you mean like bridge screws?
That'll happen when it happens. You're prodding the bear. I can't. I just haven't had time to get in there. I've been dealing with my folks.
No worries.
At
You know,
tail
I'm
end
just,
of last
you know,
week,
I'm
couple
just
of days
nattering
this
about
week.
it. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
good.
that's all right. They'll get done. It's the
When I
simplest
get
job.
there, when I get there,
base-
it'll get done.
Well, it won't. It won't if I haven't cleared my workbench.
Yeah,
You
right,
won't be getting anything done. But that is the easiest base to get sorted. That really is just replace those, give it a wipe over, condition the fingerboard. The strings are pretty good on there.
Put the pink strap on it.
Quick,
We're off to the races.
quick, no.
That one's for Rich.
I've got.
Okay.
The CFG cable-free guitars, zero
Oh, yes.
gravity. It'll probably be one of them going on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give that a go. But that'll be the quickest. Yes.
Just very, very quickly. Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. Does anyone need a white 3-ply Music Man scratch guard?
I personally don't. I've sold
going
about
free.
4 of them over the years. I would go, if I were you, I would go on the StingRay Facebook pages.
Of course.
Obviously, some of them you can
I
sell
can't do
on,
that,
some
unfortunately. I'm
Why is
not
that?
on Facebook. I deleted myself in 2012.
Oh, okay. Well,
There's a
that's,
forum that
spanner
you
in
can
the
go
works,
on that's
isn't it?
outside Facebook that is nothing but StingRay.
Oh, of course
Ah.
it is. The only ball one, yes.
There's one of those, but there's also another one that kind of does the. They have a forum set up that does outside of company stuff, so you can speak without having to go, I'm a fanboy. Oh. So you can do the rest of the thing.
I'm not quite a fanboy for Ernie Ball.
No, I know that, but I'm using it as an example. I mean, I didn't
yeah.
say status page. I did not say status.
Why not?
We got this. Well, because we already know you're the fanboy for status. We got that.
Where's
Maybe
your status page?
maybe I mean you must have a paid up account on Base Chat that allows you to sell, because you're obviously selling bases on there.
I actually pay for each
okay.
item, actually, usually.
Well, you just go on. There's the accessories for sale.
Yeah,
section,
true. Yeah.
Stick it in there.
Yeah.
Do you, if you are that way inclined, if you pay per transaction, do you still get access to the hold on, let me say exactly what it is. There's that forum that you can only access if you're paid up, where it was items wanted.
No, that's for the what they're called the supporting members, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. James is saying just post it on Base Chat, it will go. Yeah. The only problem is, for the sake of a £30 scratch plate, I can't remember how much do you pay for selling per item?
You only pay if it's £50 or above.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
45 quid to you, Governor, and
you get straight for 45 quid. 20 maybe, you know.
Saul Watson, you're coming on, are you? Oh,
London
excellent.
prices.
Bring him on.
Been on here.
Bring him on.
Good Lord, I haven't seen him in ages. Here you go. Invite sent, mate. Invite sent.
Who's
Come
that?
on here, talk base.
Saul
Watson, lovely chap.
Yes, indeed. He's a good lad.
Yeah, he does a Paul McCartney, Beatles, Wings, spanning tribute show, one-man thing.
Nice.
But a bass player of some repute.
Yes.
We approve of this.
Yes.
Yes.
We like people like that.
Yes,
and
we
I
do.
can't believe we've had no nutcases
Idiots.
so far. Yes.
Okay.
We've done quite well. It's clearly Tuesday night.
Off.
We don't.
On here.
Yeah.
We don't have to flash red alert on the
Not
screen.
Not yet. No.
You think that it'll happen now?
Well, there's always time, Bill. There's always time.
Famous last words, isn't it? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You speak too soon, and all of a sudden you're bombed with them.
Don't we know?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. They'll all come out to play on Thursday, won't they?
Of
That's
course.
my luck.
Because they know you can't red alert them. You can't bomb them.
Well, I can. I can set it up and do that if I wish. I just choose not to. I make the impromptu ones a little less formal. Not that we're particularly formal, but it's just hit the button and off you go.
Right.
Sort of thing. And actually, I should apologise. Anyone that saw Thursday's impromptu live chat, I did say I would try and do another impromptu live chat on Saturday's gig. We had a bit of an issue. So the mobile internet reception in Harlow, bloody Harlow, was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. So we were playing at someone's house. They gave us access to their Wi-Fi. I thought, great, here we go. And literally you had the whole band, all the residents of the house, and all 50 of their friends all on the Wi-Fi. And it just kept bombing. You'd literally get like 30 seconds of Wi-Fi and it would bomb out.
Sounds like dial-up.
It was horrible. It was just, I thought, this is pointless. I'm going to start a live chat and it will just be an utter mess. So not to worry. Not to worry. So I apologise. I had planned then on doing something on Sunday, something on Monday, and just been flat out busy. It just wasn't going to happen. So sorry. But we are going to do an impromptu live chat on Thursday.
Just wait till what we do over the curry table.
Which is the official anniversary date on Thursday.
Yes. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Going back to when you first started, and you said earlier on that I was like one of your first subscribers.
You were, and going back even further from that point, so it was end of July, June, May, April, March. 4.5 months before that, on the day we got announced we were going to lockdown, you might remember I posted on Facebook asking people if they would like any bass demos, because now they weren't going to be able to go out to stores to try stuff. So if there was anything in my collection that people wanted a demo of, I was happy to do it and post it up on Facebook. And you said, absolutely. Oh, it was like, yeah, I want to hear that and that and that and that. And as the weeks went by, I thought, I still haven't done that. And then lo and behold, by the time we got to end of June, and I'm in the workshop and I'm doing the last of these basses, restringing and cleaning. So I thought, you could have filmed all that, put it on a YouTube channel, couldn't you? And I hadn't, like, idiot. What are we going to call that channel? And in literally 3 seconds, it went, Brooks's Bass Corner. I was like, that's what it's going to be. And here we are. Here he is. Here he is. There. That's what it's going to be. Here he is. Welcome. I think you've got us on speakers, haven't you? I can hear us. Welcome.
That's really loud.
Yeah.
What do I need to do?
I'm going to see if there's something I can do. Edit mic settings, echo cancellation. See if that's any better. I can hear us talking.
Delayed as well.
Yeah.
You can sing for Judas Priest with that.
Let's see if I can get into here.
You can sing for Judas Priest with that.
Okay, I'm turning on echo cancellation. No. Reduce mic background noise. That might have done it. There we go. Turning on echo cancellation.
No.
Oh, no. It didn't at all.
There we go.
No.
No. Saul, could you turn your speakers down a little?
There we go.
No. Saul, could you turn your speakers down a little?
There we go.
I can only do so much at my end.
I don't know what's going on now.
Only do so much at my end.
How can you have any pudding if you don't eat the meat?
Well, right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. If you've got any, I don't know where you'd have it. On your sound card, if you've got anything to do with it, echo cancellation.
Yeah,
On your sound card, if you've got anything to do with it, echo cancellation. Sounds like a 70s prog album here.
Let me come
out.
We've stepped into the world of camel.
Yeah, we have. It's something.
It's a Canterbury sound.
Yeah.
I
Crazy
think he's
stuff.
actually disappeared to actually.
He has. He may come back.
Yeah.
James Howard, yes, we've dealt with that. Thank you. The scratch plate on base chat, very good. Westford, yeah, I just want to say a big thank you for all of the wonderful videos. I can remember that I discovered you with a bass demo video. I think it was on the State of Streamline. Yeah, that sounds about right. Rock fan, hello. Westford, get to bring the champagne on the official 5 year. I could do that actually. I've got a couple of bottles there, so that might happen. We'll see.
Chill.
We will see, of course. James, you've got to go pick your wife up back in a bit. We will still be here, my man.
Yes,
Rob fan, wow, sounds like a trip I had in the 80s. Yeah. Kiran Ratod, do you use ChatGPT or Gemini? What, for my videos? I occasionally use ChatGPT to come up with video ideas. I tend not to use it. I think I did one thumbnail with it and it was okay. But it's just, I find it as time consuming as just actually creating thumbnails. I don't use ChatGPT or Gemini to produce my videos. I'm quite proud that I don't use any AI for my video production. Right, we'll have another go.
How's that?
That's magnificent. Well done, sir.
Thanks.
Well, it's good so far.
Technical genius.
That's it. I've always said this.
Turned it off and on again.
Yes. It always works.
I'm just trying to see what's the better. Oh dear, this gets a bit messy, doesn't it? And that's me. Right, that's what we'll go with. Yeah, how you doing? Long time no see.
I know. You okay?
Yeah.
Evening
I'm not too bad. Ticking over.
Good.
He's having a glass of wine. How bad can he be?
Pink base. Yeah. No, that's how good I am.
Well, there's that.
Yes.
There's that.
Yeah. I don't actually. What is that?
Hello, Saul.
Hi. Evening.
How you doing, bud?
I'm good. When you coming over?
September, first week.
Ooh. He's going to be down your way.
Are you up for curry? Are you up for curry then?
He's going to be down your way on the Saturday. He's going to see Martin at Sims.
Oh, okay.
Saul's in sitting room.
25 minutes away. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to converse.
Yeah. Drop me some dates, Jamie. I'll make sure I'm about.
Shall do.
Well, I can tell you the date. So he's flying into London on the 4th, on the Thursday. We're going to Birmingham on the Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday, I'm out of the picture because I've got a gig. So Jamie and Stuart are going down to Ashford to see Martin. And then on the Sunday, we're going up to Peterborough for Nick Smith's event.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
So if you want to come, you're invited. But,
okay.
It's a fair. I mean, it's 100 miles from mine, so I'm guessing from yours, it's probably close to about 160, maybe.
Peterborough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Fourth, I'm good. 5th, I'm good. 6th, I've got a gig in Dartford, and 7th, I can't do. But 4th and 5th, I'm about.
There we go.
Okay. We'll get it sorted because it'd be good to have a curry.
Keep you posted on his whereabouts.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
It's all good. It's all good. I have some news, by the way. Mr. Smith's Korg tuner.
Yeah.
Spectre case. And his Series 6 AH200 trace is now here.
All right.
And the trace head is magnificent.
Of course it is.
It has a bit of a hum, and I know there are repairs. It sounds from reading stuff online that the hum on a trace head is to do with not dry joints, but it's the material that's been used in some of the soldering points that it can be refreshed and it clears it up. But I'm going to do a couple of sound demos and I'll run it XLR through the audio interface. If the hum isn't there, I'll live with it because it won't be coming out to do gigs anyway. It was bought for video content here on the channel. So we shall see. We shall see. But I plugged it all up and it worked fine. There were no pops, bangs, whooshes or anything else. It just all played along. A couple of the like the noise reduction and the mid pre-shape, they have like when you press the button, they have a little indicator that says in red. The N is lit, but the I isn't. It's a good start, but it is probably a 36-year-old amp, so it wouldn't surprise me that some of the illumination has
Giving up the ghost.
Giving it up. So it's all good. It's all good. Kiran Ratod, do you use chat? Oh, we've done that.
Right.
Excellent. You have a question. Go for it.
And for
Yes.
Saul, since you're here, Saul, I just have to.
Ooh, that's nice.
Lovely.
Oh, it's your attitude, isn't it?
Yep, it's my attitude. But since you hadn't seen it like more than pictures, I thought this would be the moment to say, look, there it is.
I've got mine. Bear with me. Let me go and see what's.
Yeah, go
Oh,
on.
yes. Well, he's got the rarer one, hasn't he? So
He's got the 30th one, yeah. 30th anniversary.
I need to edit that. So we need to do that. I need to go into there.
I think you're a magician now.
How do I do that? Hang on.
Is that one?
There we go.
One of these, I think.
Ooh,
Online.
That's nice.
30th anniversary.
Give me
Yep.
2 seconds,
Yeah.
gents. I'm just reigniting
Lovely.
the Instagram.
Someone was after one of those online, but and this is one of Martin
Oh, yes.
did this one.
Oh, lovely.
Wow.
Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
very good.
Yeah, that's but it's got it's been played and it's got dings all over it, and
Perfect.
it's you never trust me.
So it's just about ready to be used then.
That's right. It's well broken in.
That one's
That's
12, 13 years old.
Yep. Right. Well, the one, my swirly one was made in 2015, and it was actually the first of the 10 or 11 of them that I had. It's the only one that I kept.
Yeah.
So I have ideas for another one, but that's after I get all the JDs sorted.
Nice.
There we go. That's all good. That's all working. Excellent. Excellent. Are you guys a magician? Well, my bass playing skills have been commented on before. Are we musicians? Yes, we're all musicians. Yes, sir. We're bass players. This is a bass channel. Do I need to run? I think I do, don't I? 2 seconds. Let's just run this for the uninitiated.
Go right
Hassan
ahead.
Iqbal, what is this? It's a strip show, can't you tell? Idiot. Sorry. Well, I mean,
Okay,
I don't want to
so
be rude.
shall we go?
Exactly. Yeah, I know where that's been, thanks.
That's
Hassan,
right.
this is a bass channel. I know you've probably come in off of a shorts feed, a vertical live stream feed. We're talking bass guitars, my friend. Bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects. We're all bass players. If you want to join in the conversation, feel free. If you're here for cooking, we're not doing that. That's next week. So, yeah. Yeah, we still haven't got around to the cooking. That's going to happen, though. That'll be a live chat from the kitchen. I don't know what week, but it's going to happen. It has to happen. Poor Hassan. He's going to become an internet sensation, isn't he?
Indeed.
The poor unsuspecting loon. He had no clue what he was about to walk into. We were mid-flow and he comes on and it's like, your opening gambit is, what is this? What does it bloody look like, for Christ's sake? I think the name of the channel kind of gives it away, you know? Anyway, Kiran, thanks for flashback. That's okay. So, yes, we're all musicians. So are you a bass player? Are you a musician? Have you got a question that you want to ask? If you've got a bass playing question, you're in the right place. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
It's all good. I know sometimes people can be a little intimidated when we're on full flow and we're going, full throttle. It's constant bass chat, boom, 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 boom. But come in, watch for a couple of minutes, and then post a comment, and then we can take it from there.
Oh, while you're doing that, Saul, I know the guys have seen this, but this is for you as well.
Beautiful.
This
The
is
lovely
a,
Zoomer's about to join us.
This is a
Look at that.
68.
Look at that,
This is a
ladies.
68.
I mean, isn't that a gallery of faces only your mother
Hello.
loves?
I like that.
I would say.
Congratulations. What?
Cheers, man.
I know this was an anniversary one, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5th anniversary.
5 years, yeah.
5th.
5
Congratulations.
years on Thursday.
Yes.
See? Mm-mm.
Awesome.
Look back at those first 2 videos and think, what the hell was I doing? Should have had a cap on. The hair was like Ken Dodd. It was all over the place. Like, But
Oh,
couldn't get your
man.
haircut. We were
That means
middle
you
of
got to
lockdown.
get shorts. We got to make shorts out of those then.
That's it. Yeah, well, no, those stay hidden, thank you. But yeah, we were in the height of lockdown when I started that channel. That was, I'll tell you, I can, for those who don't know the full story. So we went into lockdown, and that was what, 23rd of March. And it was very clear to us, those of us who make a living as musicians, we were knackered, basically. And here in the UK, we were knackered even when the government said, oh, we'll help the self-employed. We didn't really. And about 2 weeks in, for years I'd had on my list, got to do a proper YouTube channel, not knowing that that was how you could earn a living. And Lord knows I'm not earning a living from it yet, but I earn a bit of cash here and there. And a friend of mine who's a drummer repurposed his existing live chat. And the first, well, in fact, he'd done it just before we went into lockdown. So his first video properly, once we'd gone into lockdown, he couldn't have done a better video. It was the cheapest audio interface versus the most expensive audio interface. He'd already bought them. And it was the perfect video. So the most searched for term on YouTube when we went in lockdown worldwide was how to make pizza. But I would reckon that was probably swiftly followed by how do I record music on my Mac PC? We need an audio interface. Suddenly everyone gets presented on YouTube with this one video, the most expensive audio interface versus the cheapest audio interface. He got something like 250,000 views straight off the bat. Channel monetized, bang. He was up and running. And I looked at that and thought, I do stuff like that for the mag. Why? What? Hang on. Why am I not doing something? Right. I'm going to start look into this. And I spent a couple of weeks checking it out. And I was thinking, well, how do you do a YouTube channel? And so it was a lot of research, lots of watching other people's channels and the help channels about how to do it. And then I got told by my editor at the mag that you won't have any writing work for a year, probably, if we're in this for a year, because basically all the advertising budgets have been screwed down to 25%. It was like, so there was nothing for me to write. But the last piece of work my editor gave me as we went into lockdown was an advertorial piece for Yamaha. So we were writing about Yamaha artists, Yamaha instruments, Line 6 and Ampegs. They just bought Ampeg out. And so my whole YouTube thing got mothballed and I had to get on with writing that piece. I had a month to do it. Got it all together, submitted it, and I thought, right, YouTube then. And I was just checking things out. I started getting all my basses into the workshop and restringing, not knowing when we were going to do any gigs, setting them up, cleaning a couple up, giving them all a bit of TLC, which they needed. And after doing the whole bloody lot, I sat there and I'm thinking, you could have filmed this. Why didn't you film this? You should have filmed that, you know. That would have been ideal content for your channel. It's like, yeah, wouldn't it adjust? And as I'm sat there doing the last one, which was the Spectre Euro LX, I thought, we're going to call this channel then, in my head. And I instantly said within like 3 seconds, what's his bass corner? And it was like, oh, right, that's it then. Spent 4 weeks then through June, knowing that we weren't going to be coming back out gigging anytime soon. But I had to suddenly find some way of getting some money coming in. Here we are, 5 years. I'm getting drips and drabs, but it's not like a regular earning thing. And I set myself the task of making sure I had it up running by the end of July. And lo and behold, first video went live on the 31st of July. Here we are.
Awesome.
Sad but true. Yeah, I set the channel up about 10 days before I had the first video. Now, looking back, and it's very easy with hindsight, you'd have made 10 videos before you even registered your channel. You would just had that, but none of the help channels said that. None of them said you got to have 10 videos. They all said you got to press record, start filming, and learn how to edit and get on with it, because otherwise you'll procrastinate until you're always thinking every video has to be perfect. Well, none of your videos will ever be perfect. But what you've got to try and aim to do is make each video 1% better than the last one. and over time you progress, and that's the way it has to be. I know there are some people afflicted with this whole thing of they want to do a channel, but they just don't want to press record until everything is perfect and they've got all the best gear, and it's like nonsense. You learn far more doing this. My first video, the second video, the empathy review, took me 24 hours to edit. Now I could edit that video in about 3 hours tops.
Yeah.
Because you were learning the software, you were learning the technique, you didn't know how to piece it all together. It was all, you were learning it, you know.
Yeah, you just have to let it go at some point. It's the same trap as, oh, I don't want anybody to hear this tune I wrote because the mix isn't right, or I could play it better, or I could sing it better. Okay, but you need to get it to a certain point and let it go.
That's it.
Because you can agonize over details, but if you agonize over it, you're never going to do anything with it. It's going to sit there.
It's going to sit there, yeah. That's
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, you've been doing it a lot longer than any of us, Jamie. I mean, you must have seen all the changes. You know, the interface changes like every week.
Oh, it does. It does.
And I look back at what it was like. If I look at any of the screen grabs I've got when it first started, it's like there's very much resemblance anymore.
Yeah. Well, when I started, it was like 14, 15 years ago. And I just set the camera up in the middle of the room and said, go. And whatever bass was in my hands and the wall of Trace Elliott that was behind me, we went with it. You know, so you have to talk over coming from behind you. You know, we did what we could. Now we don't do it that way. So
no, it's all changed. You look over 5 years and everything's changed. I mean, look at things on vidIQ, and now there's a trend on video creation that you know, all the things you used to be told to do for your videos now don't do them because they will hamper your growth. And it's like, right, okay.
Yep.
So but you can't go really, other than cutting sections out, you can't go back in and edit your old videos. And Lord knows if I could go back into them all and cut out the, you know, 50-second intros, you probably would. But at the time, that's what you were told to do. Now you're told not to do that. It's a different process. I can see there's loads of messages here, so I'll try and rattle through a few. So Kieran, you work in AI, very good. But you're very welcome. You want to come and sit in, you're welcome. Beat after beat, shouting out Zuma. And is that a Dran Dran mug? I'm sure it is.
Actually, it's not. Like it's kind of related. It's a David Lynch mug.
There you go. David Lynch. That answers you. Westfort, I didn't even start to play bass during lockdown. That brings back memories. Jamie, the stripy JD came from lockdown. There you go. Westfort, you were starting to play drums during lockdown. Okay. But it was not even drums, it was trumpet. Okay. Kieran, this is a very inspirational story. No, I'm not inspirational in that way. It's that was more a case of if COVID hadn't happened, this channel may not even exist because I would have been so busy with gigs. And actually, the rest of 2020 in my diary was rampant. I had 105 gigs in my diary when we went. A week and a half before lockdown, I had 105 in there. And I tell a lie. I had 2 gigs booked at Wembley Stadium for that July, funnily enough, July 2020. The Queen tribute I play, or one of the Queen tributes I play with now, I just started working with them at that point, and they had been offered the gigs to play in the centre circle for one of the semi-finals of the Euros, the men's Euros football championships, and to play for the final. And it didn't happen, of course, because it got blown out and we didn't get the booking. And actually, in the end, when it happened in 2021, they decided they weren't going to have bands in the centre circle. So it didn't happen anyway. But we had the booking and we were just waiting for them to sign the contract, apparently. And then COVID hit and it didn't happen. To play at Wembley Stadium, one of my dreams, probably won't come round again. But there we go. You live in hope. Right. Kieran, same struggle I have with my own development, building software or doing research. It is what it is, isn't it? You just got to find ways to earn a living. Gareth Harrison, it was the same when I first started using DAW. The more you do it, the quicker the process takes, because you're learning as you do it.
Yep.
So, you learn quicker by doing something than trying to read and read and read, and then you just get lost. And that works for me. Beat after beat, I like to mess with Zoomer. I've heard. Keep it clean, lads. Keep it clean. Right, that's all the messages. Yeah.
Okay.
Next, what are we talking about? So, there's anything on the channel anyone wants to discuss? Things you like, things you don't. You got any bass questions? We're talking basses, bass amps, pedals, accessories, strings, gig bags, great bass players, albums with great bass players on, interviewees you'd like to see, all of that. So it's a free reign today.
Well,
And I met with silence.
on this
It goes
5th
quiet, yeah.
anniversary, I brought out a prop that I mentioned last time I was on. And
Oh, yeah.
I found that little shirt. Look at.
Ooh,
This is my
there we go. That's worth a few bob.
arena shirt. I mean, you can't tell, but I mean, this thing is tiny. Like, it is. Anyway.
You were a small child.
Yeah, I'm still small, but I was really small back then.
We were young lads back then.
Yeah.
Everything
crazy.
changes. Everything changes. Yes.
Much like the gullet. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
quite right. Wow, that's worth a few bob. You look after that.
Yeah, I actually found a picture with me wearing it.
I've still got my 87 tour shirts upstairs. Thankfully, I can still get in them, although they are a little tight under the armpits. But they probably weren't designed for a boy of 15 to still be wearing them when he was 53.
Yeah, I have a bunch.
But they're all
that are retired.
collectibles,
Yeah.
They're all
That's a good
collectibles.
idea. Hey, that's a good idea for a video. I think I'm gonna steal
What's
it
that?
as well. It's to bring out all the old shirts and show them out.
Duran Collectibles.
Totally.
They are collectibles. They're one of those bands where it's like Kiss stuff,
Oh.
and Queen and kind of old vintage Stone shirts and all of that. Those retain their value. Duran merch holds its value really well. I know the hang on a minute, see if I can get access to this drawer. Might be a bit of a strain. Anyway, I've got in there to my left the super deluxe CD DVD box sets for first album and Seven and the Ragged Tiger from 2010. Seven and the Ragged Tiger one is worth about 150 quid. They did them in such a reduced number. I didn't buy them at the time. In fact, I didn't pay much attention to Duran reissues at that time, but that and the original, the first album, it's got all the on the DVDs, all the videos, all the TV appearances. The Seven and the Ragged Tiger one has got the only DVD of As the Lights Go Down.
Yeah, I have it. Wow, I didn't know it was worth that much.
And I had to chase that down on eBay. I managed to get it for about 50 quid about 18 months ago.
Oh, nice.
But generally, they don't come up very often, and they usually got £100 price tag or more. Last couple I've seen were going for around 140, 150 pounds.
Nice.
Time's passing. They haven't reissued them since. So
right. All right.
And I think people really want that one for the As the Lights Go Down DVD.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So.
I probably watched it a million times as a little kid on VHS, of course.
Of course, wore the tapes out.
Yeah, totally.
There's a bunch of messages there. Kiran, you still have chance to perform. Don't lose hope. I know, but I'm 53, and unless I get to play with an original artist, it's unlikely I'll play at Wembley Stadium. Just the way it is. Beat after beat, Duran diapers. He may have the matching set. We don't know this stuff. So, Kiran, I have an idea for your YouTube content. Okay, fire away. If it's I pay you to do my SEO, that won't be happening, I'm afraid. I get bombarded with emails about that all the time. It's going along quite nicely. You haven't seen my analytics for the past 3 months. Westport, I don't have any band T-shirts. You need to change that, young man.
We need to fix that.
Level 42 shirt.
come
Level42.com. Come on. Get with the beat, baggy. Beat after beat. I have a sealed DD condom.
I have that
they
one
did
too.
them. That'll
I
be a
have that
Warren
one
Cook
too,
of Rillo
yeah.
thing.
As long as
Yeah.
you're not sharing,
Got
it's
from the
fine.
wedding album tour. Yeah. When Warren was going through his I Pose in Porn magazines.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Phase. King Charles, good to see you. Obviously not the King Charles. Don't want people coming on here going, oh my
Wouldn't
God.
that be something?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I can't see him frequenting my channel, funnily enough. I just can't believe we've had no nutcases. And it's
Well,
20
we don't
past
know
9.
just yet. We don't know
No, I
yet.
know there's always time, but normally we get them in when the live stream starts because they suddenly get alerts that it's there. And so they start clicking along.
This is actually
Nice.
Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, please, gang.
This is
Obviously not
probably
you, fine
before.
gentlemen. You've already done that. So again, Rich.
This is probably because all of the actual nutters are actually here.
Yeah.
Woohoo, yeah.
I've had more than 6.
Rose Central Gallery.
before. I've had more than 6 before. Westport, yes, but they don't deliver to France. Level 40. You telling me Mark King won't deliver to France? Joke. There are people in the US that buy merch
Yes.
from Level 42's site, so I can't believe that. Or, well, I know you said you're coming over here on holiday, so what you want to do in advance is get the address of your hotel, place your order, and the delivery will be waiting at the hotel for you when you arrive. I did that with Alembic t-shirts when I went to the US. Turned up at the hotel. I'd already sent them an email saying, I'm having a package with some merchandise. Probably not the best way of phrasing it. Some t-shirts. And I'm arriving on the Sunday, but they should be arriving with you on the Friday. And they went, that's fine. We'll just hold them till you get here. I arrived at reception, signed in. They went, oh, there's your merchandise, by the way. And it was a couple of Alembic t-shirts. So very good. Gareth wearing a Jam t-shirt as we speak. Good for you, sir. Rock fan, the nutcases come from the US, not always. And we haven't had enough to drink yet. Well, you see, like I say, there's still time.
The wine is
Yeah,
still
it's
here.
early here. It's early here,
Yeah.
unfortunately. For those of us
What-
who, have to
Westport,
work.
they say UK only on the t-shirts. Well, there you go then, Westport. When you know when you're coming over, place your order with the postal address for the hotel you're staying at. When you get there, they'll be there waiting for you. How about that? How about that? So what's happening with you, Saul? Paul McCartney tribute.
Yes, man.
Busy?
Yeah, very busy, thankfully.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's coming up to a busy month. I'm off to play the Cavern on the
Nice.
19th. Kick
Excellent.
off International Beatles Week, and then what am I doing then? Then I've got Cyprus coming up again.
Nice.
Which is
North or
lovely.
south?
Paphos, south.
Have you got to go through the passport control?
Yeah, deep joy. Deep joy. That and the constant
I
praying that the bases arrive on time.
Did that with an ABBA band a couple of years ago. It was horrible. They hold you there for like 45 minutes and it's blazing hot. You're dying for a pee. You just want a pint. You're stuck in the back of a taxi with some bloke talking gibberish, and it's like, just there's the passport and the papers. Just come on.
Yeah.
Tis what it is.
All of that.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. Got that, then Cyprus, then off to Scotland and Mull of Kintyre, obviously.
Oof.
That's in October, so that will be absolutely pissing freezing.
Pack your thermals.
Right. Yeah. There's a group of I think 40 American Wings and Beatles fans coming over for a whole week.
Nice.
They're basing themselves out of Scotland and going to Liverpool and all sorts. And they want to go to Campbelltown and go to the Mull of Kintyre beach and have their pictures taken and everything. And after I've done a gig with them the night before, they want me to go down and play acoustic version of Mull of Kintyre for them. So I'll be in gloves and a hat. I'll look like Kenny from South Park. Just all but there's worse things to do.
Well, quite. So are you going on your teeth into that? Are you going on your own, or have you got crew that come with you, or what?
No, it's just me. I'm too old and tight to pay for anybody else and compromise. That's why I'm doing it myself now. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, so it's
Good.
yeah,
Cool.
it's good. It's good fun. You know, it keeps that sort of money coming in on top of everything else. That
How many shows are you doing roughly a year?
I think this year will bottom out at about 87. I think
That's very good.
so. That's
Still
not
good.
Very good.
Still good.
Yeah, that's really good.
you know. So it's
For a one-man tribute, that's good work.
Yes. Brilliant.
yeah. It's like you. I think it just took a lot of research because I'd never done anything solo on my own. I've been a bass player all my life, and it was just that I got let down or bent over or screwed one way or the other over a particular tour, an album deal that I was.
Take your pick.
Yeah,
On the visuals, folks.
yeah, that left me a bit high and dry. So it was a case of what do I do that kind of stops it, kind of puts a safety net under me for the future. And I'd never done anything solo in my life, but I thought, well, give it a go. If it falls on its arse, I've tried it.
You've had a go, yes. So what is this, year 4?
Year 3, 2.5, 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So
well, it's obviously working. So
yeah, I mean, it still lets me do all the other stuff and all the bread and butter stuff that comes in. You know, so I've got a couple of yacht rock gigs coming up, which would be good fun.
Which band's that with?
Just a local band down in Thanet that just started up. That
seems to be the thing. I'm seeing like loads of theatre things coming in for new yacht rock.
Yeah, I think there's a new one that took off. Ride Like the Wind, I think, is a big one coming out soon.
Yeah,
but it's all
loads of it.
The bass lines are all great. So.
The material's great, but the problem is once it floods the theatre circuit, there'll be like one or two who basically mop up all the gigs, and the rest of them won't get a look in. Yeah. I've seen this happen with the disco thing. So, like with Uncle Funk, we've tried the old version of the band, tried to get in on the theatre thing a couple of times. We've done theatre shows, but it's trying to build a circuit that's the hard thing. And the problem you've got is there are 2 or 3. I say vintage in the nicest way. They've been doing it for so long, they've kind of wrapped up the circuit. And as a newer or a repackaged version of what we do, it's very hard to get a foothold. And a lot of these places will go, well, we've already got 2 disco bands, we don't need 3. And it's like, right, so how do we get into play? Oh, we have to come up with something new. Well, we've done that now, so it's a case of getting that out there and doing it. But it's hard, and like I say, there's loads of yacht rock things sort of springing up in the past 18 months. There isn't all that work for everyone. So, you know, the good ones will do well, and the not so good will just fall by the wayside, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I think it came to Los Angeles too. I have a really good friend who has a very successful 80s band called Past Action Heroes, and he recently started another band. It's the same band but doing different material, the yacht rock, and they call themselves Sailor Swift. We'll see how long that lasts, but they can always go back to the 80s Past Action Heroes thing too.
Just one question: can somebody tell me what yacht rock is?
Yes.
Like Fly Like the Wind and
you mean Ride Like the Wind?
Rich, I'm going to send you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Someone can explain it to him. While they're doing that, I'm going to send you in your email 2 links to 2 1-hour programs that the BBC did on BBC 4 back in 2019, which is a look back at what yacht rock is and what it was. And because of that program, I discovered Young Gun Silver Fox, and it was having been told about them by a friend and not checked them out. And suddenly they were there on my TV screen playing. And I'm like, that's the band he told me about. I need to go and see these. I bought both the albums, the rest. So let me just find that. And for ages, it wasn't on YouTube, and now it is. So let me get those. So someone explain to him what yacht rock is.
So Saul, go ahead and explain yacht rock since you're kicking it in.
Okay, my take on
sideline that, mate.
Yeah, my take on yacht rock is I've got 2 gigs that are coming in at about £200 each. That's all I know at the moment. and there's a lot of Michael McDonald.
Right. So it's Michael McDonald and Christopher Cross and
Like
Ambrosia. It's all of the. Think of it like this. It's the late 70s into the early 80s, kind of. At the time, they called it adult rock, soft rock, because it was Pablo Cruz, Player, Baby Come Back, all that stuff. That's all thrown into yacht rock. So, the some of the folks here, when they do it like you get on XM radio, oh, yacht rock, we're going to go on the beach and listen to these songs. That's what they're basically what they're trying to say.
Loggins Messina. That's
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
That makes sense, Rich?
Sort of, yes.
It's a label that somebody came up with that really doesn't describe it.
Yeah,
it's like George Benson and Toto and Steely Dan and Earth, Wind and Fire, and a lot of that stuff that was on the radio probably from about like 73, 74 through till about 85, 86.
Give or take,
Chic and Nile.
Well, that's disco. That's disco. But think of the Little River Band.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a lot of distortion on the guitar.
You'll hear similar sounds, similar keyboard sounds, similar bass sounds, drum sounds. It's because they were using the best gear that was around, so you kind of hear it all.
Andy Gibb.
Yeah,
I do love
Kenny Loggins.
Right.
Michael McDonald, Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm getting part 2 for you. But it's good when you're watching this program, you'll probably go, oh, actually, I quite a bit of this. You just didn't know who was singing it. You knew the songs. You didn't know who was singing it. Or right, there we go.
Well, it's a label. It's a label that's been applied to. They don't want to call it classic rock because classic rock is Zeppelin, Sabbath, Deep Purple, all that, right?
Yeah.
And you can't call it
like a lifestyle. You aspired to own a yacht and sunsets in LA and drinking tequila sunrises and all that sort of thing.
Right, with your collar up in the air and a little pair of shorts and all that.
Yeah, mousse in your hair when we had hair.
Hey now,
all of that. Nice pair of white chinos.
About 1991.
Okay.
Yeah, but white chinos, nice pair of blue espadrilles.
There you
Yacht
go.
rock thing, Governor.
Giacomo,
just joined the chat, and the first words I hear are yacht rock. You're staying. Welcome. We're talking bass guitars, but we can talk yacht rock as well.
Right.
So yeah. Anyway, I've emailed you there.
Yeah,
you got it.
Got it. Thanks. Yeah.
It's 2 parts. It's about 55 minutes each one, and it's good. It's a good what Hall and Oates is kind of. You see, they're not really yacht rock because they were the yacht rock thing is
the
more
70s.
the West Coast stuff.
Yeah,
well, it's the 70s stuff, really.
Hall and Oates of Philadelphia, New York, kind of that. It's kind of. We need Stacey, but she's at work. She'll explain all this. You're up for all this. But it's that kind of thing because a lot of the artists that are bundled into that yacht rock thing had the same studio musicians. So you're talking Jay Graydon, Caro, John Robinson, Steve Gadd, same bass players, Abe Laboriel, Lewis Johnson. It's Mike Porcaro was on there, David Hungate, Toto were all over this stuff. And a lot of that yacht rock stuff, if you go into the liner notes, you'll see Toto members popping up all over the place.
It is recorded very well. Like you said, they're using the best of the best.
And this is why, like Young Gun Silver Fox, although it's just 2 of them that do the writing, they have their live band, but when they're recording, Sean is very particular on bass sounds, guitar sounds, what amp it's going through. It has to be a Fender Precision with flat wound strings. Gibson guitars rarely uses a Strat because a lot of like Jay Graydon and that would use 335s. Semi-acoustic Gibsons, he's very particular on effects and the sort of reverbs and modulation effects. Andy's using, lots of Rhodes. There's a lot of that there. The whole strings pad where you just hold the one note, it's on for the whole song, and then you sing over the top. But they're very particular, and my partner hates it because she loves all that stuff. She had all they've done is copy that music, and it's like, no. You've got to listen to the albums. There's more going on there. There are certain sounds and feel, maybe, but it kind of moves along. You know, it's not always just the one thing. I mean, there's a track on their new album which sounds just like, well, it's the rhythm for When a Fool Believes. What a Fool Believes, sorry. It's that rhythm. But it's a different song entirely. The key's different. The chord progression's totally different. Gareth Harrison, you've seen an increase of the term yacht rock since John Mayer released Last Train Home. I haven't listened to John Mayer for a long while. I loved his first 3 albums, and then I just got the whole I'm going to be the next Eric Clapton. I was like, oh, really? Oh, I'll drop off that train then. And I haven't bought an album of his since Continuum. It's kind of the last one I bothered with. What are you saying? I mean, they call Steely Dan yacht rock. Yes, some of it is. Some of it is. Probably not all of it, but some of it.
I can't hear Bodhisattva and yacht rock.
Peg is a yacht rock.
I mean, Asia could be yacht rock because of how it flows.
Yeah.
But I don't think Hey 19 is yacht rock, or
No,
Bodhisattva.
maybe not.
Bodhisattva is not going to be yacht rock.
Look, Earth, Wind and Fire, all of that isn't yacht rock, but there's certain songs like After the Lover's Gone, September maybe. There's a couple of albums. Can't Let Go is probably good yacht rock. That's not so much disco. Second track on
middle of the road sort of poppy rock then.
Yeah, it's like with soul and funk mixed in, and occasional forays into jazz, middle eights maybe here and there. But,
there you go. I've actually learned something.
There you go. It became a tag because people needed something to create their Spotify playlists with.
Oh, I see.
So they called it yacht rock, and then all these artists kind of got lumped into it. But if you watch that documentary, she explains kind of how that term came about and really what it's sort of indicative of. Peaches and Herb, there we go. Beat off the beat. You know your stuff. Yeah. Right, let's just check on the old stream health. Check we're up and running here. Yeah, that's all looking good. Stream health is excellent. That pleases me no end. Right, just check the dashboard.
On a roll now. Ashford and Simpson.
Ah, there you go. It's all coming out, isn't it? But Ashford and Simpson were Motown.
They were R&B.
Yeah, they were Motown. They were on the Motown label most of their. They may have done more stuff when they became songwriters rather than performers.
Well, that would be like saying that the stuff that was written by Dozier Holland was yacht rock. It's not.
Zuby, you've replied to I've owned Repeat Offender since I was in high school. Always been a big fan. Now and Forever is one of the best ballads ever. You know that. I love Richard Marx.
Yeah.
Likewise.
I
I saw
I was
him.
the only one listening to him.
No, mate.
No, you weren't.
When I was at university, about 6 months after Rush Street, so I remember seeing Richard Marx on Casey Kasem's Top 20 Rundown, which we used to get like a week after here in the UK. It was always shown late at night. And I remember Richard Marx being mentioned on that when his first album came out and the first couple of singles went high in the charts. And I thought, oh, I really like that. They showed a clip of him playing live, and he had a really good band as well. I was like,
excellent band,
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy the album. Then Repeat Offender came out in '89. Lucas is all over it. Michael Landau's all over it. Nathan East's all over it. And I was like, right, I think I need to buy these albums. And then I went off to uni, and I hadn't bought them. And when Hazard came out and Rush Street came out, I was like, right, I'm going to go and track these down. But his albums were always full price. They never like discounted in the shop.
Them,
I managed to get a copy of Rush Street in '93, spring '93.
Yeah.
And I learnt that album back to front, bass playing wise. Lee Sklar's on there, Marcus Miller's on there, Nathan East is on there, Randy Jackson's on. I mean, just bass player.
Yeah.
It was like great stuff. John Pierce is on there. And I learned that album back to front, and then from that point on, I bought all of his albums. So I went and bought the first two, then bought Paid Vacation when that came out, Then he kind of disappeared here from about
Right,
95,
yeah, quite a while.
and he didn't tour. He didn't tour here after 92.
Yeah.
So by the time I got into him in 93, he wasn't playing here. So between 1992, he didn't do another gig here in the UK till 2010. And I was at that gig, which was at Shepherd's Bush Empire, and I walked past him in the alleyway. He was getting out of his MPV to walk down the alleyway to the stage door. And my partner and I had just parked up, and I wasn't sure that the road we were parked in had free parking.
Yeah.
And as we're walking back up, because we've got to go and take the car to another car park, he walked by us. And I said, "Come and see you later." He said, "Well, enjoy the show." And he was great. And
Awesome.
then he came back the following year and did the Albert Hall. And he did Always on Your Mind, where he used to come out into the audience with just him and his guitar. And he was stood right by my shoulder. My partner took a video of it. It's actually up on YouTube. But he had the whole band with him. So he did one set of acoustic stuff and piano, and then the second set was with the full band. Came back in 2013, did Shepherd's Bush again, solo, different material. And then didn't come back here again until the shows that I'm talking about in those shorts, which were Union Chapel. So that was meant to be spring 2020, and the shows didn't actually happen until October 22. And the show was just off the, as you can see by my reaction, because those are taken from the live chat I did the following night, and I was gobsmacked, and we had him in tears. And it was just a great show, and I'm really gutted. It was one of the few gigs I've been to in about the last 20 years where I didn't take my MP3 player with me and record it, because it was just an amazing show, And then he was back here last year at the Albert Hall. Now we just wait for more shows, but his voice has got better.
Yeah,
his voice is amazing.
Still pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The other thing that stuck to me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. According to Google, you are absolutely right. Artists and examples of yacht rock: Steely Dan, the Doobie Brothers, Hall & Oates, Michael McDonald. Other notable artists: Toto, Christopher Cross, Rupert Holmes, and many others contributed to the genre.
They didn't have a label for it. They couldn't figure out how to. So they applied it to the one sitting out there in Miami Vice in the middle of the water with, white coat with the pink and the blue shirt.
Yeah.
A lot of them were the artists that Lucas talks about in his book, where he would jump in, do a session, and jump straight out again. Where you'd be doing 10 sessions a day, and you'd be coming in and playing on 2 tracks that are going to be on an album that you wouldn't hear of for another 2 years. And a lot of those are, like I say, if you made a list of a lot of the popular yacht rock artists, if you went back through the players, the credits, you'll see the same players turning up. Oh, Sklar's on loads of them.
Yep.
John Robinson, he's still doing the rounds now, amazing drummer. He was on loads of that. Picaro was on, because they would literally have 3 or 4 kits. They'd be in one studio with one kit while their mate is driving their second kit to the next studio. The next guy's driving another kit to a third studio. And when he finishes in the first one to go to the second, that kit gets broken down, taken to the fourth one. And that was day in, day out. It was mental. It was absolutely mental. It's no surprise that those guys were on drugs most of the time, because there's just no way.
Keep going.
Zip.
You'd have been on speed for like a year to do all that. That's just what it was. Zuma, make your point. You were going to say something.
Oh, I was going to say, related to the song you were talking about, "Through My Veins," that he wrote for his father. I have this vivid memory of looking through the liner notes, the CD notes, and I remember reading that on that first album, Repeat Offender, his father played trumpet on that, and I played trumpet at the time. Actually, I was playing trumpet before I was playing bass, so it just stuck to me. So it all just kind of
his
came
dad
together.
wrote string parts for Children of the Night.
Oh, strings too as well. You're right. Yeah,
And his dad's in the video. for that conducting.
I haven't seen the video, so I should check the video out. But I just thought that's wonderful. I couldn't even imagine like one of my parents, taking part in my musical career.
He often said when he does, or on the times I've seen him do Through My Veins, he's done it every time I've seen him, I think, and he'll tell you all the stories behind it. And as he said, I lucked out when it came to parents. I completely lucked out. I had the best parent. He said my dad was the best dad. Anything you could imagine that you wanted in a father, he was that.
Wow.
He was that. And like I say, on that night, normally I see him and he plays it and he's sort of quite reserved and he'll play it and it builds as a song. But on that night, I don't know, he tuned into something, and there were some tracks on the album Songwriter that he played that night. Like one was with Burt Bacharach, and he obviously had some memories tied into that album. And he was, I wouldn't say he was emotional the whole gig, but because he was just playing guitar, and I think on a couple of tracks he had a violinist with him. So it was either him playing guitar or piano the whole night. We didn't have a whole band. And I think the enormity of the gig, although it was at Union Chapel, there wasn't more than about 200 of us in there, but it was his first gig in London, and he'd waited so long to be able to do this. He did 3 nights on the bounce because COVID had got in the way. And I guess for a lot of performers, they maybe thought, we're never going to get out and play again.
Yeah.
And he said, I think he used to be very good at posting up post-gig reactions on his YouTube channel. And I think he said after the Union Chapel, he said, this is the gig I've looked forward to the most of my whole life, because I love playing in London. I always get great reception from the London crowd. But what we've just been through for 2 years, I thought this gig would never happen. Yet before COVID happened and this gig was booked, that was the gig in my diary. I couldn't wait to happen.
Awesome.
So it was like being promised the best Christmas present and having to wait 2.5 years to get it. But
that's like ordering a wall.
If you're into that sort of thing, yeah, maybe.
Wait for the wall base. It takes 2 years or longer.
No, 4.
Well, 4,
4, yeah. JD's, Walls and Dingwalls, 4 years.
Yeah.
You could have a brand new Kabiki made. It would take less time.
And
True.
cost less. A little bit less. A lot a bit less. What do you, I think maybe you could get one for $5,000, $6,000, something like that.
A new Kabiki is 5 on the nose, depending on what finish you have. Yeah, 4,995, I think they usually quote. I can see a load of messages here. Beat after beat, Ashton suits are very good. Giacomo, Huey Lewis kind of falls into the yacht rock thing, but not totally. Although they are from San Francisco and West Coast, but their stuff was more kind of blue collar worker based and became more yacht rock suitable, I think, as time went by. The Small World album would definitely fall in the yacht rock territory, but Sports and 4 might have been nudging at the edges of yacht rock. But,
Sports was pure 80s pop.
And Hard at Play, the last album before grunge, that's definitely not yacht rock. That's more rock.
What about Jan Hammer?
That'd be Miami Vice rock.
Maybe. I mean, I've not heard any of his solo albums.
Posh Yachts, no socks and white trousers.
Yeah, but that was the fashion.
That was Miami Vice.
Yes, wore that, and yes, certainly on yacht rock. So.
Oh yeah. Picture John Anderson with his lovely little yellow shirt and white coat on,
Yeah.
Trevor Rabin with his sleeves rolled up, and Alan White, nice glittery headband. Of course, yeah. Gareth Harrison, ChatGPT says yacht rock is a style of soft rock music that emerged in the late 70s, early 80s, known for its smooth, polished sound and laid-back vibe. Sounds like you, Jamie. The term was coined decades later, around the mid-2000s, as a tongue-in-cheek label for this specific blend of music, often associated with yuppie leisure. Hate yuppie. Crap. Yuppie leisure, particularly imagery of sailing and luxury lifestyles. Think Player Bobby Comeback, yeah? Yacht rock, never heard of that term. You see, you come on here, Westport, we teach you things. See, we
Education.
broaden your horizon. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. It's a silly American label. It's everywhere around Europe now. Beat after beat. Duran Duran did a Yacht Rock video. It was Rio, maybe a dumb thought. I can see where you're coming from. They kind of preempted all that. Let's think, if Rio hadn't been on a boat for the video, how much grief they would have saved themselves.
Right.
Frankly, I think that led them to being labelled something they weren't. But there we go. It's an indelible image, isn't it? Beat after beat. Really never heard of Sailing Rock Pink.
I made a comment that said that was Sailing Rock, and he said never heard of the Sailing Rock.
Got
and
it.
then I said, look at the video and you'll understand, basically.
Got it. All right, very good, very good.
That's right.
Westford discovered Russ Ballard, yes, and the Hooters. We're not talking Hooters restaurant. During the Rock FM festival in Germany, they were playing along level 42. It was brilliant. Yeah. Russ Ballard and his Hooters. Yeah, very good.
The Hooters.
The Hooters, yeah.
Yeah, that sort of Hooters. Yeah, very good. Very good. It is coming up 10 to 10. Where's the time go? I tell you what, when I go back and I do the timestamps the following day, like the past couple of Wednesdays when I've done it, I go through and I think, is that it? Is that all we've talked about? And it's like, it's what we cram in 3.5 hours. It's mental.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, when you have all the bass players in the room, what do you expect?
We get quiet. This is it. It goes so quick.
Charming,
that's why I have to do the
intelligent conversation.
Exactly, witty repartee. That's why I have to do the wind down impromptu live chat the day after, because so much we talked about.
So WINE, wind down. Got it.
Wind down. Exactly.
Wind down.
Well, it's very good.
Well, you need to pour you another one. Have a go on that one.
I'm going to. Yes.
A little bosh.
Red wine. I can. It's the 5th anniversary of my channel. I can do what the hell I like.
That's
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh, we got a new Alexander Zorich, keeping it 55th Street. What's that then?
Like New York?
What do you mean Billy Joel, 52nd Street?
52nd Street.
That's a good album.
Yes.
That's a very good album, actually.
55th.
Oh, and then the next comment's for Rich, of course. The bassist for Russ Ballard played a lovely all-black StingRay 4 with a status graphite neck.
Yeah.
I approve wholeheartedly of his choices.
You know, I thought of you. Somebody popped up a picture of an S2, and I went, Richard.
Yes, there've been a few go up. Last couple of days.
We're speaking about talking about the D-shaped neck and the D-shaped string up at the top.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what they were until early 90s when they went for a slimmer volute.
Okay, so when did the GMT pickups leave?
Ooh, 86, 87. I know Mark's Series 2s, the solid colour ones, were just standard status pickups without the GMTs on there. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking around about 86.
I would say around there, because my first one was an 88. Yeah. And it wasn't actually GMTs. Yeah.
No. I think they were GMTs, then they went to the all black ones, then they went to the status with the gold on, which was maybe 89, 90.
Yeah.
And then they went to hyperactives. And that's the way it's been ever since.
See, the first status I put my hands on was, and you might find this fun. The first status I ever picked up was a friend of mine by the name of Tim Gaines, who played with a band called Striper.
Oh, I know
right? So he had it done in yellow and black stripes, the whole entire thing, and the neck on it was very large.
Yes.
And I don't remember, I forget what he told me when he got it, but he got it directly from Rob.
Right. Yeah. The Matrix necks were hefty, but if I, where is it?
The old
this was cooking.
Necks weren't actually curved as such. They're an actual block almost with
right
curved corners.
And behind the nut is really thick, like it didn't come down and then go back out. It was just fat all the way through till you got to the headstock, and then it went down behind the back.
they never went out of tune. You could leave your car in heat, cold, severe, frosts, and of course the actual bass would always be absolutely bang on in tune.
Right.
Yeah.
I just remember how thick the thing was, because it was that kind of block. That was the first one I tried. And then when I came across the Streamline 5-string that I tried out some years ago, it was very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. In actual fact, Rob told me years ago that he'd actually designed the original S2 neck to be like a sort of a curved oblong P neck.
Okay.
It was actually wide, sort of, blocky. And they changed them to these sort of graduated curve with the truss rods and things. Mike?
Yep.
Early 90s?
What, the truss rods started?
Yeah.
I think it was a little later than that. So the graphite neck on my Stingray, that base is a 98. I bought it in 2001. I don't know who the original owner was because it was bought from the base center, but so he must have got that neck around about 99, 2000, 2001. That has got a truss rod in it, but I don't remember Status necks having truss rods until late 90s, because my two empties don't have truss rods, and they're 98s.
Yeah.
And I think what happened was they were starting to offer it as an option, but obviously some bases were made without them. But as I recall, I think Dawn said they offered it because people were asking for it. But how much of a truss rod can make a difference to the relief on a graphite neck, I don't know. But when I adjusted that Stingray 5 neck during lockdown, I found the strings were bottoming out too easily higher up the neck. So I adjusted the neck, having never had to do it. Finding out that the truss rod works in the opposite direction to most other truss rods. Doing it the wrong way, thinking nothing's changing. And then it's like read on the website, oh no, we do ours the opposite way. It's like, great, right, we go back then. And then suddenly it all came back to life. It was like, right, but it hasn't had to be adjusted since. So but I think truss rods probably came in late 90s, maybe 2000.
So Jamie, this was before Tim went to the Area Pro 2 Elite?
So he had his first bass was a 78 Stingray that he had purchased directly from Leo himself in California. He went into the shop and he chose from 10 of them and he played one until he found it. So that was, and then it was white and he striped it up and then had to go. The Status came in, I think, somewhere in the midst of the Aria Pro popping in as well. So I think they were kind of concurrent at that point.
Oh, okay. All right.
We've been friends for a long time, he and I.
Oh, man. We need to have a conversation about this.
We can do that offline for sure.
Okay.
Well, you can do it on here.
We can do it on here.
First, good to see you, Kev. Thanks for responding. I'm going to open up another subject of discussion in a minute. The first I saw was a Strata bass. Very lovely. Before the name change, in all Bang and Strum It in Denmark Street, which had a pretty beefy neck on it. So the topic we're going to also contribute to, Kev replied to one of my shorts where I was saying wireless or wired, what do people prefer. So Kev was talking about wireless systems and what have you, and he let me see if I can find the message. What did you say? What did you say? Hang on, bear with me a moment. Get that filter out of the way, and that can go too. And that's good. Right, where are we? Wired or wireless, Kev? Here we go. You say good subject for a chat. I think the experiences of the folks on the chat would be good to know. If they've tried the cheaper Oriental offerings, which run at 5.8G, and how they worked out with variety of passive active bases would be good to know. I use very expensive cables and silent jacks, but a wireless could be a good addition. And I said, I'll raise it as a point of discussion tomorrow night. So now I have.
Okay.
I tried wireless packs about 15 years ago. Spent quite a bit on it, and I found I lost a huge amount of power and tone through it. So I sold it and just cabled on ever since. Yeah.
I've gone down the wireless route a couple of times. My first one was a Samson unit, which was sold to me by Nathan King, but I didn't know that was him at the time. And that would have been tail end of 1990. So Samson were coming into the UK off the back of their sort of work with Hark at the time. And that thing was okay. Here in the UK, the main wireless systems then were Nady.
Yeah.
I remember them. Yamaha did some, but they were very expensive. And I had this Samson, and it served its purpose for a couple of years, but it was always breaking down. It had to go back for fixing, and it's very hard to fix something like that. It's a printed circuit board. So usually I think the shop just exchanged it for another unit. And by 1998, that thing was dead in the water. So ditched that, went for a Bayer dynamic system from the base center, which was fabulous. So good, I bought two. I bought an extra one on eBay. They're in that rack there. Because when I was doing the Green Day tribute, I wanted to have a separate pack and wireless for each bass, because I had a concert tune bass and a semitone down. And so I got the two units. And by the time the second one came, about a year later, they were banned here in the UK. They don't fit into the wireless frequency spectrum you can use unless you have a license, and the license is not cheap. So I held off replacing them until things settled down, and then I went for the Line 6 G90 in 2019, and it was great up until we did an Uncle Funk show. Actually, with two shows a year apart. So I used it on a run of gigs with Uncle Funk, and I thought, great, I'm going to start using my wireless. Great, fab. And we were doing a gig at the Spotlight in Hoddesdon, big theatre-y sort of show. And I just realised Instagram's gone again. Hold on, I'll set that up again in a second. And we did sound check, everything fine. Came out, first 3-4 songs, perfectly okay. Get into the 5th song, and I'm playing, and the sound completely disappears. I'm like, what was that? What was that? Batteries on the bass, sound came back in. Okay. Got through another song, it happened again. Hell, gremlins. I'm in the middle of a show. Got my headpiece on, ears in, sunglasses, black light. It's like, I'm not. Where do I start? Cables, pedals, wireless. Ugh. Get to the break. It kept happening through the first set. Second set, I didn't really change anything because I was like, I don't know what to change here. Next time it happened, I turned around and looked at the wireless receiver, and basically the level control was dropping out, going in, out, in, out, in, out. And it was the frequency that those units were working on. When they were released to the public, we didn't have loads of people with smartphones and Wi-Fi routers and people using Wi-Fi routers for in-ears and monitoring. Basically, in this building, everyone's logging on the Wi-Fi in the building, and it's hitting this at the same frequency. So I then stopped using the wireless for a while. I then used it on an ABBA show about a year later, and we were at a theatre, and again rigorously tested it during sound check. Can I walk around the theatre? Everything was fine. Sounds great, lovely. Just on the off chance, I set up a spare lead in case it all went tits up. We come out, got my ABBA costume on, got the wig on, ears in, lovely. First song, we're in, great. Yeah, it's all good. This lovely. Get the second song, and it started doing it again, and it completely dropped out. And I looked at the receiver again, and it had completely bottomed out the level. It can only be wireless Wi-Fi systems within the venue.
Yeah.
And so I haven't used it since. And I thought, well, there must be a way to calibrate it. And we did have a big chat about it on the live chat. But the problem with the Line 6 one is you can't change the frequency. There's an extra adapter that comes in the box that allows you to kind of improve the reception, but you can't change. So most wireless systems run at something like 2.8. And the guy I was speaking to said, oh, change it to 5. You'll find it works better at 5. You can't do it on the Line 1690. It's not fixable.
Right.
So I haven't used it since. It's something we were talking about at the Uncle Punk show last weekend, about me and the guitarist both going wireless. And on festival shows, you can't do it because A, you don't know all the frequencies that are flying around with all the tech, but also there's no time between one band coming off and you coming on to not only set your gear up, set the pedals up, get your mic done, get everything powered up, and setting up a wireless setup as well. Even if it's all kind of pre-set up in a rack, it's just more grief and you don't want it. So rather than do a festival show and then be standing there like a bit of a lemon going, well, I've got no sound, don't do it. Just go wired on a festival. But on a theatre gig or something where you've got time to eradicate gremlins, that's where you can kind of use it.
So the other thing is I've used two systems. So you said Nady. I used that way back. I've used Shure and Sennheiser. And the both of them are pro rigs. So because they're pro rigs, you can call the frequencies and just search it out. So what they'll do is on those setups, they have a process where you set it to find. And what it does is it goes around and searches all the frequencies and picks the strongest ones, and then you can set it with a backup. So in case it doesn't work, or if you have some kind of interference, it'll cross up to the other one. Or it will keep searching frequencies so you don't have a dropout. Right. And I've had no trouble in live gigs jumping off the stage, because I never do that, and run to the back and run to the front and all this kind of thing, and playing hard rock metal, playing what have you. I've had no real difficulty, because honestly your in-ears are running on a set of frequencies themselves if you're running that separate. So you've got two bands of frequencies. Note I'm saying this, not this. Two frequency bands that you've got, one for the ears where you're set up and you're moving, and the other one is for your bass. And if they're even remotely close is where you start having trouble. So normally the ears rig is run at a higher, it'll be on the 4s to the 5s. But if you search what's in the area, if you have the setup to do that, it will lock in on the ones that are open, and you can grab them before everybody else does. So as if to say, I've had a few adventures. It wasn't Spinal Tap getting the radio or getting, the flight control deck. They're going to go land a jet. But there was times where I had weird ones early on. But the most recent ones I've used in probably the last 15 years haven't given me any trouble at all.
Well, I back in the day, as you said, I had a Nady when they first came out, and was sort of playing in pub bands in around Bedford, and it came in quite useful because we played this Sunday lunchtime gig, and I thought, let's see how good this system is. So I left the band and went out the front door of the pub, and then walked around to come in the back door, and apparently it never it was all fine, and it was useful because there was a reporter there who put it in the paper and said, I thought that the gig was going to be good this Sunday when I saw the bass player leaving the front of the pub. It made the paper, so yeah, that was quite fun.
Famous in your own lunchtime, Bill.
Yeah, but also it used to wind my brother up no end, because I was in the band with him, and he was too tight to buy anything like that. So I could go on the
Yeah. Kev Seabass, I have an old Trace Elliott 16-channel unit, still works but noisy, I bet. I bet that could do with a clean on the old circuit board. Gareth Harrison, I have an XV wireless system. It's okay for home use, but occasionally, of course, because you play in the bathroom, don't you? No,
Welcome to the loo.
Monday morning is bathroom wireless playing day. But occasionally at gigs you get interference from Wi-Fi, and if you have other wireless on stage, Westport, you always use a cable. Wireless is great, but it's not very reliable. This is the problem. The technology comes out and it's great, and then something comes along and completely balls it up.
Yeah.
So
I've been using the Line 6G 7.5s for 10 years, I think now. Must be, and seriously not had any issues with them. And I was gifted some of the Boss, they W20, the two things that you plug in, and awful. Yeah. I wouldn't wish them on my worst enemy.
See, the G90 was fine until I had those 2 gigs, and it was just like, I can't believe this. I've bought the top of the range Line 6 guitar and bass wireless system, and it's just dropping out. And like I say, when it happened, it was like, what the hell is this? I don't know. Well, you can't see it. It's probably old Mrs. Miggins in the corner doing her food shopping on her phone for the day after. And that's knocking out my signal. And it's like, well, I can't. And I remember Simon being like, I didn't know it didn't happen. I've never experienced it. Then a year later, same thing happened.
You're cutting out, Mike.
We're losing you.
I'm cutting out.
There
You're cutting out. Yep.
Ah, there we are.
Real quick,
there we go.
Mike, I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. I got to get back to my pesky
That's a hell of a look. Right, we've got to see this.
We're going to have pictures of that one, Jeff.
I'll send you pics later.
There you go. Hey, hit me up later. We'll talk about Tim.
Okay, man. That sounds great. Happy 5th. And thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. See you soon. Take it easy. Like that, he disappeared because he became a pumpkin. So
with a carriage.
I mean, we're talking about it, and I said, well, if we've got like a run of, as we're coming out of festival season, if we've got a run of decent indoor gigs, and we've got setup time where I can get it all right, and if it goes out again on the gig, then we know there's a major issue that we've got to try and iron out. But I don't know how to do it with that unit, because you can't frequency select. Well, you can frequency select. You can't change the operational frequency that the unit is operating at. So hello, Dawson, good to see you.
Hey, Brooksy, happy 5th anniversary.
Cheers, my man. Very good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How's everybody doing? We got a full house tonight.
Yeah.
That's for passing the wine bottle.
That's it. Yeah, hitting the wine.
Enjoy.
It's beautiful.
Gentlemen, news hot off the press.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Last week, I helped start the brokering of a deal, and coming up for sale are a beautiful, absolutely unmarked status S23 5
That'll
string.
be Mr. Dave Williamson then.
X of, yes.
From Woking, yeah.
Yes, X of.
You buying that, are you?
No, not me. But it'll be up for grabs with the Parametrics preamp on it. And a very beautiful, as new StingRay 5 with that burst, which is black to sort of grey, sort of, silver. So yes.
Sadly, Dave goes through bases like I go through socks.
I got that general impression. Yes.
I've known Dave since 1998.
Yeah.
He's perennially looking for the ultimate StingRay Lakeland tone, and then goes and buys basses that don't have the StingRay Lakeland tone, and does his darndest to try and get the StingRay and Lakeland tone into them.
That's right, yeah.
He's saying, just buy StingRays and Lakelands, don't bother with all the other stuff, because it's not going to get you there. This is the man that took a Dremel to a GB Roomer to expand the pickup cavities so he could put some StingRay pickups in. Dave, sacrilege, my man. Sacrilege. Dave was the bass player in the ABBA band. So the story with that is when the ABBA band I play in started, Bob Skeet was the bass player. I then became the bass player because Bob was off doing Wishbone Ash. I then left to join Cover Story. Bob was busy. Dave got the gig. Dave was the bass player for years. And then for whatever reason, he left. I think Gary Liederman came in. Gary used to be one of the bass players for Beyond Again. He left. Cy Mulvey came in. Cy did loads of stuff, and he was with the Bay City Rollers. May well still be with the Bay City Rollers. He was the bass player in the ABBA band. Then he left. I think Dave Williamson came back, and then I got a call round about a month before this channel started, so the summer of 2020, to say that Dave, none of us knew when we were going to gig again, but he'd handed his notice in. He wasn't going to be the bass player for ABBA. Did I want to take up the role? Here we are. That's how that all worked.
Okay.
It's a hell of a family tree. Right, hold on. I can see a few people on here. Lorenzo from Italy, good to see you. Welcome back. South Italy, very glad to be watching you. Well, I'm very glad that you are watching us. Thank you very much. Gareth Harrison, anyone seen the new trailer for Spinal Tap 2? I haven't yet.
I have.
I haven't had a chance.
Yeah.
You'll laugh.
Saul's shaking his, nodding his head. You have you?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, thanks. Then we've got Jamie saying that, Lorenzo saying that, lots of people saying hello. Westfort, Bill the Headless Bassman.
That would be Rich.
Yeah, you got
Headless
names
Bassman.
ran the wrong way there.
And
Lorenzo,
Bill still
wine.
has his noggin.
Yeah, Italian wine. It is, funnily enough. It is produce of Italy. How about that? It is, and mighty fine it is too, I have to say. Lovely drop.
I think Jamie's battery's just gone.
Yeah, he's got to go and put 50 cents in the meter.
Yeah.
Sean, welcome. Variety is the spice of life. Too true. Chris Strumstead, welcome. I don't think you've been here before, but you're very welcome. Fellow bass players, keep rocking. Always, without fail. Shaolin Mung, God bless these dudes. Quite right, too. Oh, yeah. Here we go. I've got to add him back. See, again, StreamYard have changed things. It used to be if you dropped off, as soon as you came back in, you were presented. Now, as Saul found out, he dropped off, came back in. I didn't see he was there. And I had to wait to add him to the screen. They've changed it again. Right, Shailin Mung, yeah, very good. Westfort, yes, Rich, sorry, so many bass players tonight. Well, legends, you see, it's the attraction of the channel, frankly, you know. That's why Lee Sklar hangs out here, you know.
That's right.
Lovely message. Oh, Saul hasn't seen this. Yeah, we got this from Mr. Childs earlier. I'll play this again.
Chris.
For those who don't know, Chris Childs from Thunder.
Hello, mate. Sorry I can't join you tonight, but I'd just like to wish you a happy 5th anniversary, and may there be many more. I can't believe it's 5 years since you started it. I wish I could have got along to a few more of them, but I'm a busy boy, and I'm pleased to be able to say that. So happy 5th anniversary. See you soon.
Bless him. We'll get him on here one week.
I haven't seen him. I saw him. I haven't seen him for a year. It was last Christmas. I was doing Planet Rockstop and doing a show, and looked to my right, and he's standing at the side of the stage, nodding his head. Which is.
Did you do that Dan Byrne show?
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did the tour, Planet Rockstock and Stillhouse.
Because there were those 2 gigs you couldn't do that you asked me if I wanted to do, and
yeah,
when they told me what the dates were and what the itinerary was, it was like I can't commit to that. It was like I would have to drive to Wales to meet the band bus to go to Manchester.
Yeah,
so it's double the mileage. I might as well just drive to Manchester. Yeah. Oh well, good. Oh, I'm pleased you did it. Yeah, I haven't seen Chris now. Oh. It's got to be 2021. We just come out of COVID. I was doing a gig up in Bromsgrove. Don't think I've seen him since. tell a lie. No, I'm talking nonsense. Talking utter shite, aren't I? He came to see. He came to see.
Look at you.
The Queen. No, yeah, you can't. You try and remember when you last saw something. He came to see the Queen tribute do a show in Worcester because he was doing 2 Depths for me with Disco Inferno with Uncle Funk. He had to come collect the costume from me at the Queen show. That was it. So it would have been March last year, just before he did the gig at Indigo O2. Yeah, that's the last time I saw him. Yeah, but yeah, before that, 2021. Mental. Where's the time go? Dawson, hey guys, the Aussie Funeral Caravan we live streamed at blacksabbathbench.com at 1 o'clock UK time tomorrow, just to let you know. I'm not sure if I've told you, Dawson, and I'm not sure if you picked up on it on last week's live chat. Ozzy lived literally 5 miles up the road from where I live, in a little village. And my mate Paul Guerin, who after last week's live chat, we had a right old conversation last week on Messenger. Paul used to work for Ozzy. So Paul and his mate Will, basically, when Ozzy wasn't in town, they would go and look after his premises 5 miles up the road before I lived here. Yeah.
Yeah, I tuned in a little bit last week. I was kind of outside. I'll have to watch the replay there.
Very good. Yeah, we're up to date on the messages. Yeah, so that was last time I saw Chris. So, yeah. There we go. He is. Top lad. Wish I'd known him years earlier because I could have got him to do more depping for me and I'd have known him a little long. And the daft thing was we used to cross paths, but there was no common chatting subject. You know, I met him when I was with a debt for a band called Planet of Women, and we supported Thunder in Bristol.
Nice.
And Chris was there, and he used to work with Steve Overland, who I was working with. And I remember going to see him outside their change room, and I said, "We've got a mutual friend, Steve Overland." He went, "Oh God, we need to talk." And then I had to go off and do my show, and he was getting ready to do Thunder. And at the end of the show, they kind of disappeared, and I didn't get a chance to chat to him. And then didn't cross paths again until, God, must have been when I interviewed him, 2016. So here we go.
There you go. You just made me think of something because, you know, they're speaking of the funeral procession for Ozzy. There is a group of guys and girls. I don't remember where they're from, but they call themselves Blackened Metal UK, and that's kind of they've got like chapter numbers and whatnot on Facebook. And when the show was going on in Birmingham a couple weeks ago, instead of paying $30 for the live stream, these guys were right here, stage right, filming the whole thing live as it happened, so there was not a 2-hour delay. And people were giving them hits and things on here, doing the dollar sign thing that you mentioned earlier, and they took all the dosh that they got through that, and they gave it right to the same charities that they did for the entire show. And they're going to be doing the funeral as well, live on Facebook. So if that stream doesn't work, you just have to look up Blackened Metal UK something. I forget the rest of it. But they'll just be there the entire time because that's how they did the entire show 3 weeks ago.
Thank you.
There you go.
You bet. I got a couple presents for them. I told them I messaged since they did that. I want to show you this.
Pink straps.
Since I'm coming along, they all wear the funny guy, cheeky monkey. That's right. The things they wear, the battle vests. So I had some of these made up for their battle vests. So this is my metal band. I'm going to give them patches for their battle vests as a thank you for filming up all the bits for us to see since we're not in Birmingham yet.
Mike, I'm going to have to say good night to everybody.
Pleasure, Bill. Thank you very much for joining in.
See you soon.
I'll tune in on Thursday. Be good.
Beautiful. Look forward to it.
See you then.
Take it easy, mate.
Sure.
All the best. There, see, people are dropping off. Everything's dropping off these.
You said popping off the other time. Yes.
Leprosy. I'm not half that
That's
man.
it. Leprosy's on the increase. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Right, I think we're up to date on the old messages. That's all good. And we're still running on Instagram, or we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're everywhere. Of course. It's Brooks's Bass Corner, live chat 124, coming to you from London town here in the UK. It's good to see you. If you've got any questions about bass, bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, great bass players, albums with great bass playing on, you just want to come in, chew the fat, you're amongst friends. So we're talking basses. That's what we're talking about.
There you go.
If you're watching on the Shorts feed or the vertical live stream feed, come on in, come and join us. If you're going to come in and talk about weird subjects or be abusive and rude and all that, we'll just bomb you out. But if you want to come in, hang a bit, enjoy the conversation, then it's all good. If you want to join us, you can. These fine Herberts I've got here on video and audio, you can join in as well. There's a ticker running along the top of the screen. Email me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. If you email me, I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite, and then I can bring you live to screen. That's how it works. Nice and easy.
Herbert.
Next, Herberts.
Herberts. If we were in Scotland, we'd be Neds.
Just to let you know, the new owner of those two basses says the S23 with the Parametrics is going to be 3,100, which is up for grabs, and the special edition Music Man Special 5 is going to be 2,099, and they're mint.
All of Dave's is mint.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. He buys them and doesn't play them. He buys them, sticks them in the case, they go in the cupboard, and then he sells them on.
Yeah.
I don't love Dave to bits, but I don't get it. I don't get it. I buy stuff to use it. I don't buy stuff on, and I've never quite worked out whether he's making a loss on them or a profit. I don't know. Unless he's got some foreign contact and gets gear cheap. I
think he sold the Status at a loss because he paid about 3.5 for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know how he does it. I
wish, yeah.
Anyway, Gareth, what have been the highlights of the last 5 years? Whoa, now you are asking.
Lee Sklar.
That's one.
Lee Sklar, no, that was your highlight of the year. Your face. I love that.
Brilliant.
When I edited up that short, I was like, look at Richard's face, because you didn't know who it was, and you couldn't see what I could see, that he was there, sitting, waiting to go.
Yeah.
And although if I hadn't told you I'd emailed him, it would have been an even bigger surprise.
Yeah.
And your face, when ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the screen Mr. Lee Sklar, and you just go, you're on that chat. You can talk to him. Yeah. So that was probably one. Using StreamYard to open up the live chats has been a complete blessing, because it was what I always intended. I just didn't know which platform I was going to use, and until past 3 months, a lot of you weren't using it. And I did say last week, if people don't use this, I'll not bother renewing the subscription on it. But it's working, and it's making the live chats more interactive. It makes everything that we do in the live chats a whole lot easier. So, we haven't had people coming on really showing basses that they got problems with, but someone's got an issue, they can put it on the screen and we can see it there, like Jay had with the damaged Series 4000 Status he had. So that's been a thing. The fact that my perseverance doing the collection video, as I said last week, the total work on that video was 55 hours, 3 of which were filming and 52 hours editing. And I looked myself in the mirror when I did the final tweaking the night before it went live, and I looked at myself in the mirror and said to myself, I can't do any better than this. If this doesn't succeed, I don't know where I take the channel next, because I can't do anything better than this. And I could now, because I've got another 2.5 years of editing under my belt, but at the time I couldn't see how I could make that video any better. Lo and behold, it's the most viewed video on the channel, so clearly I did it something right, whether it was the title, the thumbnail, the video and what's in it, or I don't know, luck maybe. But so that was good. the work that I put in was justified, because that video is now 7,500 views ahead of the nearest video, so something was right. Having famous players say they're following the channel and commenting on stuff and sending me emails that when they've watched videos, that's nice, because I'm very aware that since we left the magazine, a lot of those people could just go, oh, well, I've got no use for him. You know, if there's not a magazine for me to put my face and sell my wares on, they could have just ditched communication. But in actual fact, it's kind of stayed the same. Talk to Nathan East, talk to Lee Sklar, talk to Mark King, Billy Sheehan semi-regularly when he's not flat out, Chris Childs, all those people, all the companies I used to deal with on literally a weekly basis. I'm still in touch with a lot of those people, so those contacts are still there, so that's nice. You know, when you get a message saying Nathan East is following your channel and Lee Sklar's following your channel, it's like, ah, okay, so it does have some relevance. Working with you fine people, you know, it's that's a highlight, because this is now an evolving thing. I get people saying, oh, when's your next live chat? Oh, I hear your live chat's really good. It's like, well, that's the whole thing. It's not just me here blethering. We've got people who do this for a living. We're talking sense, you know. It's not Scott's Bass Lessons video on Mark King. You know, it's not half-hearted and a bit of a play. Not yet.
The cheekiness, you know, the cheekiness of it all.
You know, Dawson accepted. The other four of us here live at the moment, we do this for a living. We use gear like every week. This is how we earn our money. So yeah, we're doing it. We're out there. We're not just talking from a point of sitting behind a desk going, oh, and this bass has got 4 strings on it and a volume. No, we're getting nuts and bolts. When things don't work, we say they don't work. When they're good, we say they're good. It's the way it has to be. I think one more. What's been a highlight? The progression. You know, I set myself goals every year. I haven't quite hit 5,000 followers, but Lord knows we're rocketing towards it. Seeing the growth in the past 2.5 months since I started up in the shorts product, and the live chats have taken on a life of their own, going to the vertical format. So we're going to stay in this format for a little while until I see the figures drop off, and then we'll revert back to the horizontal thing. But yeah, I mean, the analytics just at the moment, I showed you a few weeks ago, we were going along. We've suddenly got this huge spike, and that spike is getting bigger. So I'm hoping at some point, suddenly the channel will take off. And Lord knows there's plenty of videos where I changed the thumbnail about 18 months ago, and they suddenly went from being a straight, Jamie will know all this because he's got a YouTube channel himself. It goes straight, and then you get the 45-degree upward climb. I've got about 120 videos doing that. This video suddenly kicks in and the cogs turn. Those videos are going to go supernova. So I'm waiting to see quite what happens. So we will see. But that would be my highlights, Gaz. It's I'm a simple man, humble to the last. It doesn't take much for me to be happy about what I'm creating on here. So as I've always said, this is my long-term plan until I'm old and grey and they put me in a box. So, you know, this is like the pension plan, really. But I would hope that with all the years of experience and the writing stuff for the mag, I can talk from a position of reasonable authority, that I kind of know what I'm talking about, and people come along for the ride, and that's it. You know, the only thing I'm aware of is you can't keep doing the same thing. This live chat couldn't be the same live chat it was 5 years ago. So I have to keep changing things and upping things and changing. Like, there's no point putting up 20 videos in the same format for something. You've got to look at how YouTube is changing, because it changes every couple of months. Things change. There are trends. You've got to follow, not necessarily follow those, but you have to be aware of them, and what used to work for you might not work 2 months down the line. So you've kind of got to be aware of these things, but at the same time, you don't want to jump on the back of what everyone else is doing, because then your channel is the same as everyone else's. So, but it's hard. It's not easy, you know. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff you guys don't see that Jamie knows, because we're talking on Messenger most of the time. But you're constantly doing thumbnails. You're constantly editing audio, constantly editing video, trying to do this, trying to do that. You've got to write all the back end descriptions for the back end of the videos, doing all of that. When you've got 800 videos here on the channel, and I've now got to go through all 800 and take out my Gear for Music affiliate link, you know, that takes time. There's no app that you can say, take that out. There isn't. You've got to go in and do that bit manually. So it is what it is. But the plan is that over time, you put in the app. Danny Sapko, perfect example, did 8 years on YouTube before he saw any return. Now look where he is, doing all right. If he'd venture into long form content, he'd be a very rich man. You know, how long did it take Scott Devine Scott got in at a perfect time when there weren't a lot of bass creators on YouTube, really, but he had a product to sell, which was music theory that was in his head, and he created a bass course, filmed it all, created a vault. You want it, you got to pay a subscription for it, and he built products. Can't say anything bad about that. It is what it is, and he's the mountain that we're all trying to climb up, you know. Not in a physical sense, of course, but you know, that's your level. That's where you've got to try and aim for. But you know, I can't see me putting out a video and within 3 hours it having 850,000 views. Those are figures you dream of. Yeah, but all I can do is just keep working at it, plodding away, and keep making every video 1% better than the last one. That's the remit. And over time, look at the first 5 videos and look at the latest 5 videos. Chalk and cheese. It's a different level. And that's it. And you've just got to keep chipping away. And as they say on vidIQ, there's no point giving up, because you never know when you might literally be a centimeter away from the jewel, the treasure chest. So you just got to keep going. And at some point, the cogs will just turn. It will go click, and suddenly things will start to take off. You just never know when that's going to be. Beat after beat, I'm guessing you've disappeared. Take care. Everyone, much love. Very good. Westford. I stumbled along J bass dance like Fred Astaire bass. You got to format your sentence a bit better than that. I stumbled along J bass dance like Fred Astaire bass cover the other day. I never heard of that song, but it was such a blast to listen to. Couldn't resist learning it. Okay, very good.
Bass dance like Fred Astaire.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard of a song called Dance Like Fred Astaire.
Time to search.
Yep. Yeah. Phones are out.
That's it. Shack Attack. Shack Attack. Is that who you meant?
Speaking of GA24s.
Yes. Right, hold that. You can announce that in a minute. Gareth Harrison. Justin Hawkins of the Darkness interviewed Danny Sapko on his channel. I know, I watched it. It was quite good. I've got a lot of time for Justin Hawkins and his thing, but sometimes when he interviews, he just goes off, and it's like, just do the interview. But it's like he's one of those guys who's got a million things going on in his head, and it all comes out from his mouth. And it's like, if you just slow down a minute, put the handbrake on, and say what you want to say, it'll come out a lot better. Westford, yes, Dance Like Fred Astaire. Yeah. Shack Attack. Bass players George Anderson. Jamie, GA24.
That would be George's bass. Something we okay, so Westford says sorry, his English isn't so great.
It's all right.
In French,
I worked it out.
Right, we can put it in French and I'll translate it. Something I kind of remembered, you had said something about your previous JD, not the one you've got now, but the one you said the neck was dodgy on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I figured a way around it.
Too late. I sold it in 2000.
Oh no, I know that. I know you shifted it a long time ago.
I know. Mate.
Cheerio. Yeah, no, but
I'll tell
This
you what.
one-
I'll go back to the base center, see if they can find it for me.
Right.
Yeah.
The one that I was messing about with on that video has a maple neck, not mahogany. So the maple neck with the walnut stripes is stronger and more rigid than the mahogany ones. And I've encountered this once or twice before. So if anybody is thinking about ordering a JD and whatnot, order it with a maple neck. They will make them, no problem. You won't have the dodgy neck doing its thing because it doesn't move as much. And they will put graphite in it if you ask. Just made me think of it because I was thinking about your base that you talked about and all that. And since we're talking Shack Attack, that's George's base. Anyway.
Cool. That
How the
base
brain-
was
how the brain
absolutely the worst. Could have been great, and it was just awful. It was awful
Right.
on so many counts.
Yep.
By the way, please give the video a thumbs up, gang. It's the most important thing you can do for this live chat. So if you're watching, if you just dropped in, maybe from a shorts feed or a vertical live stream, please give this video, this live chat, a thumbs up. It really makes a big difference to the algorithm, to how the video does. Very important for the channel. So please, if you can give it a thumbs up, leave comments, feel free to share the video out to social media as well. We're broadcasting on Facebook and Instagram tonight. So if you're a follower of me or my social accounts and you are following us tonight on Instagram or Facebook, welcome. Good to see you. There's a comment there.
That's me.
Oh, it's you. Very
You
good.
feel free to speak it. It's French.
Yeah.
Yes, que see.
Ferme la douche, le rouge fromage, Rodney.
And every American, of course, knows "Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?"
Well, that's all they know, frankly.
Right. Pretty much.
Yeah. Monge too, Rodney.
Actually, you'll be speaking Italian pretty soon.
Drive on Macduff. Why? Because of the red wine? No.
You haven't had
Last
enough
time
yet
I was
for
in
that.
Italy was with Billy Sheehan for the Yamaha launch of the BB range in 2017.
Not bad.
We had
Oh.
a nice drink at the bar that night.
Once
I can
again,
tell
just
you.
for Saul.
Here we go.
Just for Saul.
That's lovely, isn't it?
So
It's a lovely colour, that.
One of three.
Mm.
He's got the other two. He's got the other two.
Yeah.
So that's for you, mate.
Has he talked to you about shifting any stuff on? Oh, he's gonna get. I tell you, it's the invisible man. You on this live chat or what?
I spoke to him about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was doing some production for an album. I think he was. Wasn't a name I'd heard before, but he was in the middle of producing something
Right.
with
Bloody
Radio
phone.
Shit from Korn.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what the album was called.
Okay.
But Jamie,
I contacted Evo XS in Hong Kong because I wrote the liner, as you know, I wrote the liner notes for the super deluxe box set of Lean Into It, which still hasn't seen the light of day. I've been paid for it. And it looked magnificent when they sent me the photos and the description of what it was going to be in it and all of that. And my contact there is gone. It's gone. Email now goes to some other bloke, and the bloke hasn't responded to my my email. I will send him another email. I have a feeling that super deluxe box set has been canned. I think, unless they're waiting for another anniversary, but I don't know what anniversary you're waiting for, because the last box set that came out, the stuff where you had the bass taken out the tracks and what have you, that was 2001. That was the 30th anniversary. Well, if you're waiting for the 40th, I'm not sure how much my notes are going to be of use, although it is interviewing the 3 remaining members. But yeah, I need to send that guy an email actually tomorrow. That'll be on my list of things to do. Is that box set coming out? Like I say, I've been paid, so it's not like I'm waiting to be paid. I just want to see the bloody thing.
Yeah,
there you go.
Were
you trying to ask something when suddenly I disappeared? Were you were going to ask?
Yeah,
something?
I was trying to ask you. Has he mentioned about moving any instruments or anything on? Because he's now entering that senior phase of life.
I have not.
I know he has a large collection.
I played every one of them. Yep.
We know that. I mean, I've started already thinking at what point am I going to start slimming the herd down, and I think I've kind of earmarked 60. Whereby I probably am not going to need all of these things here anymore, providing I've done all the videos for YouTube that I'd want to do with them. And I could probably make do with 10 instead of 44. But
you think?
maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, it's. I just wonder. I mean, his collection is extensive, and look, we saw those photos of all the stuff he had in his lockup. That wasn't at home, that was somewhere else, and there was just base after base after base, rack mount after rack mount, wardrobe flight cases full of rack mounts,
all kinds of stuff.
Like, at some point you're going to have to say, I'm not going to use this, I don't need it, time to move it on.
I think they all have memories attached to them from specific places and tours, so I don't know is that, you know, while he's with us, I don't know is that many of them are going to depart the scene. But I mean, because we could be sitting and I could be looking at a wall of attitudes, and we can go down the row, and each one he'll tell me where it was played, what was done. You know, there was one that I remember. It wasn't an attitude. It was a pink Precision with a painted neck and the whole bit, and he's got a matching jazz bass to it, right?
Yes.
That was on the cover of a magazine way back when. It was perched up on a column, like a Roman column, and it was hung up by the strap. And that, when I first time I went over there,
that might have been a rotor sound advert.
So no, it was literally the cover of one of the magazines.
Ampeg. Oh, okay.
But I mean, so when I first went to visit, I said, I remember this cover, and he goes, here. So I got to have a go on that one. That was actually a pair of basses that were both made by DiMarzio, the entire bass. So it was the Precision and the Jazz, and they were a matching set. So I got to have a go on those.
Real Guitar Shredder. Happy 5-year anniversary. Welcome. I don't think you've been here on live chats before, but it's good to see you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Before, 2 secs. Fred Lesser, good to see you. Fred's the bass player from Already Legends. I used to dep for him occasionally when he'd go on holiday. Thanks for stepping in over the years. My pleasure, my friend. I haven't had to do it for a long, long time. Learning a lot from your live feeds even. Yeah, it sometimes feels like that. Great stuff. Thanks, Fred. Bless you. That you're the second guy that I've depped for who's popped in on subsequent live chats over the past couple of weeks and given me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. Hope the band's doing well. I'm kind of off of that circuit now, so clearly we don't do a lot of the same gigs that we used to, but yeah, you know where I am if you need me. Very good. Well done, sir. There he is. Put that up there. You can see his message. How about that? Sorry, someone was going to say something.
Oh no, I was just going to say, talking about the lockups and endless guitars. A friend of mine, Glenn, who played with Bernie Marsden. He said
Glenn Quinn.
Immense lockup of all his stuff, but it didn't have prices on the guitars. It just had pictures on there of houses or cars or things that his daughters could buy with it when the time come that they needed to trade it in. So.
Sounds about right. Well, I remember being in the gallery and talking to Martin Peterson and John Chapman, and it was about a month after Bernie had passed away, and I think they had already got the thing from the auction house for the collection, and we were having a chat, and Martin made a very pertinent point, which was, you do realize that as these legendary guitar players pass away and bass players, that the market is going to become flooded with vintage instruments. So where these instruments command a top dollar price now, you may well find the top dollar price drops considerably over the next 10 to 15 years as these guys' collections are liquidated. And I thought there was a lot of take out the Japanese collectors who buy everything pre-1962, a Fender, but you're going to find a lot of musicians, people like Jeff Beck, Bernie Marsden, guitar, Jimmy Page said there's a guitar of his going up for sale for 50 grand. But these people are going to liquidate their collections at some point, either because they want the money before they die so they can pass that on, rather than the family have to deal with it. Might be fear of the family having to deal with it and thinking they're not going to get what it deserves. I know I've had those thoughts as well. But there's going to be a glut of that gear going onto the market probably within the next 10, 15 years. Will that have an effect? It might do. It might do. What was rare might not be rare anymore as those collections are opened up. I don't know. Thoughts?
Right.
Thoughts,
well, think
gentlemen?
about it. Think about it. How many times you see, to your point, you see someone and their collection goes up. And so when they did the Dusty Hill collection, for example, there was he had a lot of Fenders. And of course they had the Dean, the furry one and all the exotic creative things they did.
Yep.
For somebody, so let me give you another example that I'm just thinking of. A friend of mine, Glenn Hughes. Glenn Hughes has 200 and some odd basses. And I mean, we've had this chat. And
with the greatest of respect, I love Glenn's voice.
Yes.
He's a great bass player, but there is someone that does not need 200 basses. All right. It's just not.
Fair enough.
5 would cover it, really.
And they'd all be Nash. Right.
No, well, vintage Fenders, probably a Yamaha and a Nash in there. And
oh, yeah, but he's got 200 and some odd basses. What happens? I mean, he's no youngster anymore either, like a lot of them that we all love.
I'm a little perturbed by his appearance lately.
Well,
I interviewed him twice in 2016 and 2017 and met him in person in 2017.
Yep.
He looks like he's losing weight rapidly. I don't know if he's changed what he's eating and how he's eating and maybe his fitness schedule, but he just looks very thin, very drawn.
He does. But it's just
However, if you spend most of your life on Charlie, that will do it for you, really.
Right, Charlie or Horsey, one of the two. But yeah, I mean,
take your pick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it does have its effect. But now, when you're not doing all that, the body will do one of two things. If you maintain what you got at the time, you'll get along and it'll be fine. But obviously, every body is different. So, but I mean, all that aside. It's like if you add 200 Fenders to the, old ones, to the world at large. To your point, every time something comes along and every time somebody departs, you're right. I think the prices are going to shift because what you thought was so coveted that you couldn't get your hands on it, you suddenly have 200 of them, and then if somebody else steps away. If somebody else steps away, then you've got more. So you've got without getting into too deep into the economics of everything, you've got supply and demand.
So those people hoarding status bases, stop it. Right?
I think I only know one guy who does that.
Not me.
I'm
not
kidding.
aware.
I only have 3.
I'm not aware of anyone.
Only 300. What you say? 300?
A few in Europe who. Actually, Michael, is it Smerdegard? Michael Smerdegard? He contacted me once about a couple. He said, "Do you want to sell your statuses?" And I went, "No." And I think he said he had something like about 30 odd. And that was then. So that was during lockdown. So maybe he's picked up a few since the semi-retirement thing. Real Guitar Shredder has put a message out. I want your opinions on something I've noticed. Do you think the recording just rewind the tape on that bit and put the teeth back in. All right, there we go. Do you think the recording quality in the 90s was way better than what they have now? They have way more headroom and more spacious. I guess he's talking about the mix.
I think generally the trend sort of further on in the 2000s was to just compress things hugely. And of course, drum tracks got louder and louder. I think the best recording qualities on albums and things, probably in the late 80s.
Mhm.
Absolutely phenomenal sound.
Listen to Love Sexy by Prince. Sorry, I'll get
Yeah,
nearer the
that's
mic so you can
it,
actually hear what I'm saying. Have a listen to Love Sexy by Prince on a pair of headphones.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Gareth Harrison, a Swedish death cleaning for...
That word in Swedish, right?
Herdebird in Sweden is a concept from Sweden that refers to the practice of decluttering and organising your possessions in preparation for your death. They haven't seen inside my office lately. That hasn't started here, clearly. So your loved ones won't be burdened with sorting it through everything after you're gone. Well, funnily enough, the woman who lives next door to my mum and dad is 90, and she's totally with it. She's totally got her marbles. And she's done exactly that. She literally has no clutter. Well, she said, when I go, no one's got to sort anything. It's all done. And I thought, well, that's a very good way to live your life, actually, once you get to that point, because you don't know. You don't know, will you see tomorrow or not? But, yeah, I haven't got to that point yet. Yeah. Room for improvement, Mr. Brooks, I would say. Where's Fort? 30 status, my God. Mate, there are people in Europe, Japan... Nick Smith was our friend Nick Smith.
Nick, yep.
Not just 30 status, but there'll probably be 30 Alembics, 30 JDs, 30 GBs, all the Mark King things, all the collectible Rickenbackers, 62 Jazzes, probably a 58 Precision, 52 Precisions if you can find them. Wait and see what is going to appear as people start. You're at an age where you're going to see all this stuff flood into the market.
I think so.
Honestly, you will. And the other thing is you're going to find all these instruments coming into the market, and you're now topical. I know topical, because I put it up as a short the other day. Where are the bass gods coming from? Because I don't see them. And you're going to, when you're my age, Westfort, I don't know who you're going to look back on from like this period as a bass legend. I just don't know where they're going to come from. And someone messaged me actually to say, you're looking at it from the view of where we are now, not where we were before. Bass players now, and I think it was a little dig, but I could be wrong. He said bass players now produce shorts on Instagram and YouTube. They're not bass playing legends. And it's like, no, I get that point. Are you having a dig at me? It's like, I felt like saying, I've had my time. Don't worry, mate. I did all right. But I don't pertain to be a bass playing legend. But this is my channel, so what I say goes. But yeah.
Hey, Brooksy, I gotta get going soon.
Yeah.
Mate, okay. Go get some more coffee down your neck.
Jamie,
love your shades.
Drop me your dates.
So on Thursday, I'm going to go see Blackberry Smoke and Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs.
Dirty Dogs.
Tom Petty evening. Yeah.
I thought you said Dirty Knobs.
He named it.
On this channel.
Basically, you're going to
There's
see
the
half
wine.
of Tom Petty's Heartbreakers on Thursday.
Very good. Well, enjoy. Steve Ferroni will be on drums then.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, it's gonna. I'll let you know
Best
how it
drummer
goes.
you'll ever hear.
Safe travels. Peace.
Take care, my man. Rock on.
Cheers,
Dirty
those.
Knobs, indeed.
Are you off, Saul? Are you off? Is that why
Yeah,
you want?
I'm gonna shoot. I've got to
All right.
get some
Okay.
stuff sorted out. Lovely to see you.
Lovely. Thank you.
And
for
Saul, I'll
coming
be
on.
in touch, man.
Yes,
Yeah,
Saul.
drop me your dates, Jamie. But Mike, just to say, very proud of what you've done. When we spoke about all these things back in the dark days
Years
of
ago.
COVID and all sorts, to see where it is now, it's you should be rightly proud of yourself.
Thank you, mate. I could do with more views, more subscribers and all that, but you can't force people to subscribe. And as I've said, I'm not after subscribers. I'm after people watching the videos, because subscriber numbers is a vanity metric.
Yeah.
It means nothing. So I'm quite happy with the subscriber count. And it's just the fact that live chats are taking off. That's good enough for me. I'm happy with that.
All right, stay safe.
All right, mate. See you
See you,
soon.
everyone.
Take care.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
And then there were three.
And then
That's
there
The
was
Genesis
three.
album.
Follow you, follow me. Here we go.
Mr. Smith. Again, have to say that trace head is fabulous. I've already put a little cash pot away, but it sounds I haven't got an amp sounds like that.
You're not going to get one like it anytime
No.
soon, other than
Right.
if you find one identical.
Yeah.
It's a Series 6 AH200.
Right.
Not loud amp, but I'm not using it live. It's for in here for videos for the channel. It's
Yeah,
comparison, so I can now set that up with an Elf, and set that up with a Mesa Boogie Strategy 888. Set it up with a DB751. We can do comparison videos, you see. But my God, they were right. Trace Elliott watts are like no other watts on the planet.
No question. No
Guarantee
question.
it. I will hook it up. We will use it on a live chat. You're going to hear it. So when people say Trace Elliott gear was the best of the best at that time, the weight, everything else, yes, I still think DB751 is the best amp I've ever heard, but it's a different tone to this Trace. It's great. It's everything you'd want in a Trace amp. I was like, please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. Yeah. And because I've played through some Traces at rehearsal studios, and they were just awful. Right. Awful. Just there was nothing about them.
In fact, I did all of my sort of early years playing live on a BLX80. It was ample at the time. You know?
Hello, Stuart Butt. I can see you there. I can see you there. Well done. Gareth, most bassists in the future will more than likely be content creators like Charles Berto, rather than recording and gigging playing. It's the way it's going. There's fewer and fewer gigs. I've said before, the music colleges are pumping out musicians at a rate for an industry that can't support them. And I've said that for about 15 years. Yeah. There isn't the jobs. There isn't the work. Really, there isn't. Not the way it used to be. And since we came out of COVID here in London, and I've said it before, you guys have heard me say it, 85% of the gigs I used to do back in, 20 to 15 years ago don't exist. They're not there.
Yeah.
So where are the young kids forming their bands going to play? I don't know. I don't have an answer for it.
Probably here a bunch, because there's still people who want live music no matter come heck or high water.
No, that still exists, but the problem is you used to have a circuit of bread and butter work. Yeah. In London, that doesn't exist anymore. Swan doesn't exist. Roadhouse has gone. The gigs I used to do have gone. A lot of the Irish circuit has gone. The Southern Hemisphere circuit doesn't even exist. Not even a thing anymore. It's all gone. Westfort, in Europe, there are some crazy people. There's crazy people everywhere. Don't
everywhere, man. Everywhere.
Someone got two Mark
II Le Monde,
with one being the one Mark King used.
Talking about the Olympics, or are you speaking about the Trace?
Don't know. The Maple Mark II prototypes. We're talking about the Series 2 King basses.
King basses.
Ah.
Rich.
Mark II ones.
They went very quick because he used them over the shows. Yeah.
There was, during the tour, was it 2008 or 9? He was using
as featured on the Holland show.
Yes, he was using a beautiful book-matched Cocobolo one with two
orange
curves in the grain on the front. And for the second set, he was using a quilted maple one as well. Yeah. It was those two, and those were the two instruments that Rob actually drove up to him on the actual tour.
Okay, so that makes me ask a question. On the live show from Reading from 2001, which one is that?
That's the original King bass, one of the early ones.
Rosewood top. Top. And the other one is the Amber. The other one is the Amber Deluxe.
And an absolutely fantastic sound as well, because at that point he was still using.
He had the Trace rig.
Yeah.
Right. Still had the Trace rig. Yep.
Yeah. It was a custom. It was a custom rig made for him for that tour.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. To me, that feels like 5-6 years ago. It's 24 years.
Right. It was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's scary, isn't it?
How stuff has moved. Class D amps weren't even a thing.
No.
Not even on the horizon. It was like still big, hefty old gear. And how it's all moved on, it's just nuts.
I don't know
Crazy.
if Allie. I don't know if Allie. Speaking of big gear, I don't know if Allie has shifted along all the trace stuff that our mate had.
No,
I'm half
so,
tempted to ask her if we're gonna if for the Sunday event if she could have along a little bit of that, because it'd be a lot of fun to play through that.
at the moment, I don't think that is even a consideration, because at the I need to send her a message, because there are 4 or 5 bands playing at the moment. There are loads of us who are musicians who are going along, but no one has spoken about who anyone is playing with, what songs are they getting up for, or anything. There needs to be some sort of list of either musicians or bands that will allow other bass players to come in, watch your set list, right, pick 2 songs off that. There's been none of that. It's 5 weeks away.
Right.
And I'm a little worried that people like you and I are going to turn up. Nothing like that is going to be arranged. It's just assumed it will be sorted on the day, but it won't.
Not with that
And
many
you're going to
folks.
have a lot of those bands won't know who any of us are.
Right.
And we're all stood there with bassists going, let me play. And
let's have a go. Let's have a go.
Yeah. Do you know this song? No. Do you know that song? No. And if we all say, well, do you know this? And they go, no, we're in a situation where it's going to get a bit messy. But I will send her a message probably tomorrow.
I'll take the chant. I'll take the chant.
Hey?
Level. That's Mark's song.
Oh, yeah, but will anyone else in any of the other bands know it?
That'll be the fun part.
See, yeah, but what we don't
I know what you're saying. I'm just bugging.
What we don't want is it just to turn into a musical mess.
Right.
And it could well become that way. And personally, you and I are there for the duration. So if I didn't get up and play, I'm not bothered. I'm just there for the day.
No, I'm not either, but she wants me to. She wants me to because she asked.
I think there will be a lot of players who are expecting to turn up and play for like half an hour or more. And it's like, unless you've had communication with the bands, I don't think that's going to be a reality. Just don't. I could be wrong. But it's something that needs to be mentioned, because they don't work in this industry. So they don't know how things like this kind of work. And it's like, you would be much better off having a list of people, finding out which bands are playing. Now, can you make up any other bands out of all the musicians are playing? Or do you need to ask the bands that are playing to allocate 1 or 2 songs to the other people that want to get up and play, which is the sensible way of doing it. Yeah. Otherwise, it becomes a mishmash, because if they try and throw together bands, it's going to be a mess. And everyone's going to go, what is this? And stick their fingers in their ears. And you just don't. That's not what you want.
Not for this kind of event.
No.
Not for this kind of event, no.
No. I don't want to get up there and someone go, that was bloody awful.
Right.
What we got here? Ragu. We're not talking about a pasta sauce. You need to type in English, my man. I don't know what tongue that is. Dadu Jean Kassanba. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. You need to put that in English. Put it into Google Translate, and whatever the English translation is, copy and paste that into the live chat. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Let's have a look here. Westford, yes. 2009 Holland, yeah. Real Guitar Shredder, you just heard Love Sexy. Yes, you're right. I know that. Love Sexy is Prince's pinnacle as a producer, in my mind. I saw that tour. I've lived that album for nearly 40 years. I hold it up as a production tour de force, and done in a rush. If you would believe it, it was done in a rush, but there we go. Great mix and master. Yeah. Stuart, could see it. There's probably needs to be some kind of MD for the event. Exactly what I just said. Westford chant has begun. Very good, very good. I just need to re-establish the Instagram link. Bear with me a second. You need to update the stream key. Yeah, and it doesn't let me do it, so I have to knock that out.
So while you're doing that, Love Sexy was a good 90s mix, but how about a 70s mix?
80s,
one of the
88.
Either one. Well, the 70s mix that everybody gravitates to here is Supertramp's Breakfast in America.
Oh, okay.
When you're running live sound, a lot of guys run their live and they do their kind of house mix off of Breakfast in America, which is kind of fun.
I know a lot of people, or when I turn up to gigs and I'm not doing sound, although I haven't done sound for a long while, people usually run Tambu by Toto as their, or you always get Asia, of course.
Right.
But yeah, that tends to be something I've heard over and over again, where they'll run track 2, which is I Will Remember, because of the drums on it. There's lots of Tom stuff going on.
Sure.
Seems to work for people. Real Guitar Shredder, let me have a listen to that. Feel free, my man. Feel free.
Absolutely.
I would go for probably the 80s or late 80s albums, all produced by Jeff Lynne. Like George Harrison's Cloud 9 and Tom Petty. Full Moon Fever, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Prince Signed the Times is also a good one, because he really broke every instrument. You can hear everything really clearly. And some of the tracks are quite sparse, so you get all the instrumentation, which is great for a sound man, because they can go, oh, right, cymbals, toms, snare, hi-hat.
Right.
There's a couple of tracks on there. The bass, well, he was using alembic spoilers and stuff, back pickup, really trebly, not a lot of bass on them. Interesting. You hear different songs done differently with different basses, and that alembic, the spoilers and the persuaders were all over Sign of the Times.
Very nice.
Whereas I think Love Sexy is using a graphite thing with the old shock absorber rail. I think it was a company called Ourswald, but I've now found out there's another company does something similar. There was a headless one someone was posting up about on Facebook the other day, and I saw it. I was like,
was it black? I saw one of those pop up.
Yeah.
Might have been the same one.
It was the headless one.
Yep.
The guy was saying he had one.
2 big humbuckers on it.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
I don't remember what it was called either.
Now,
there was a German company that did some of those as well.
that's Ourswald.
Ourswald. Okay.
Yeah. Because we tried to get an interview with them for the mag, and they were like, "Oh, can't be bothered." I was like, "Oh, all right." Okay. It's only Bass Player magazine, but you don't want your stuff featured in there. Fair enough.
Right.
We were doing I think we were planning a feature on 80s basses, and that was going to be.
Let's go.
Yeah, it would have been good.
We should do that here, actually. That's another one.
We can do that one night.
We could do that right here. We put it up on your list
next week. We can do that next week if you want.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll tell you what. I'll put it in there right now as the title of next week's live chat.
Because we can talk about the arias, the Wesstones.
Yeah.
Even the little wee Washburns that wanted to be statuses, but yeah. Of course, we got the JDs and we got the Walls and the Rickenbackers and
Warwicks,
sure.
Pedulas,
the Spectors,
Vickies,
right?
Yeah.
Lots to choose from. That's a very broad subject, which is great.
Join us next week, folks, for a massive talk about
the
greatest
80s basses.
Of the 80s. Yes. The greatest basses
of the 80s.
80s.
Good one.
If that doesn't draw them in, nothing will. I might have to change the thumbnail as well. That might have to be. I'll update that. I'll do a decent job in Adobe Express. Thank you to all new subscribers we've got this evening. Thank you very much. Load of them have suddenly appeared. Well done. Very welcome. It's good to see you. Good to have you on board. Hopefully you'll find some content on the channel that works for you.
Yes.
There's plenty on there. You've got 800 videos. Searching. Here we go. Regular Guitar Shredder. I'm liking this boy. You should come on the live chat by video, sir. Let me just change that banner, and you can, if you wish to join us, just email me, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll send you an invite, and you come straight to screen. Let me just knock that one there. Right. There were comments there. There is another thing, this Spotify and Apple Music coming up with remastered stuff. They also seem to change the song. An example is Megadeth's Prince of Darkness, a violin piece missing in the remaster. Okay, discuss that, gents. Just hold the bus. Gareth, I remember when Definitely Maybe came out, and it was so much louder on jukeboxes in the pubs and clubs at the time because of the way it was mixed. Correct. Again, compression. Real Guitar Shredder. So I'm looking at Supertramp in Apple Music, and it says remastered. Oh, great. That's you. Try it on YouTube. Yes, 80s bass next week. Gareth Harrison, West Tone Thunder and Squire Jazz were made in the 80s. Very good. Andy Stratford, good to see you. Hi, guys. Can I ask the reason for shutting down the Bass Guitar magazine? Was it money? No, Bass Guitar magazine stopped. Regular Guitar Shredder. That's 179. I don't know what the currency is.
Somethings.
It's something. What currency is that, my man? But thank you very much.
Cheers.
Whatever it is. It's probably worth about 3 tuppence. Tuppence hate me, but I'll take it. Thank you very much. Super chat donation. Well done, that man. Fabulous stuff. Bless your heart. Thank you. I will star you, and I'm just going to pop out of the chat so I can thank you and like that. That's like a pint. Bless you. Thank you. I get 55% of that. So thank you very much.
Bless so it'll be a half a pint.
It'll be quarter of a pint of straw.
Okay, good.
But I'll take it. Thank you very much. Bless
Indeed.
you. First
instead
time here on the
instead
channel.
of buying him a coffee, we're getting him a pint. That's what it is.
What a lovely man. You're always welcome here. Andy Stratford, right. Bass Guitar Magazine. So Bass Guitar Magazine ran up until 2020. And in 2018, Future Publishing acquired New Bay Media in America. I say it's to the camera, this Andy. And Future Publishing acquired New Bay Media, one of which their titles was Bass Player. So we then had the conundrum that Future Publishing here in the UK owned Bass Player magazine and Bass Guitar magazine. So what are you going to do? Are you going to have 2 bass playing magazines? Well, yeah, we did for about 2 years. So from 2018 to 2020, the content was the same, 2 different magazines, but the US magazine was a slightly different dimension size to the UK magazine. Obviously 2020, you get hit with COVID. The magazine or the publisher then decided they didn't want to run 2 magazines with the same content. They wanted to amalgamate both into one issue, but we'd already ascertained once Future bought New Bay Media that they weren't going to keep 2 sets of staff on. So the UK magazine was cheaper to produce than the American magazine, but we kept some of the writers. So BGM carried on until around about July, August 2020, and then it all got amalgamated and rolled into Bass Player because it was historically the older of the magazines, had a bit more gravitas to it. Although we were reeling it in on BGM, we were seriously into their market share. So from August 2020, it was just Bass Player, and then it got through. We came out of COVID. There were already some concerns about costs and what have you. Once the Once we got to the Ukraine-Russian war at the early part of 2022, paper costs had gone up by 5 times, and cost of distribution with the fuel costs. Remember, it was costing nearly £2 a litre. So all of that factored in. Subscriber numbers were up, advertising revenues were up, subscribers on the electronic format were up, everything was looking great. And for some reason, they just said, we can't make this work financially anymore. And that's why Bass Player stopped being a published magazine. That's why it's now a free-flowing website. That's what it is. And that's the story. Nothing more than the fact that economics meant if a company like Future can't make money out of a magazine, no one's going to. Well, you've seen it with the Bass Guitar Review magazine. They can't make a paper magazine pay for itself. Very difficult. bass playing, the bass community is a very small community. We all think there's loads of them, and yes, there are hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands bass players in the world, but they don't buy magazines. Paper-based media was going down the pan from about the mid-2000s, and the fact that we got BGM to last as long as it did, I think we kind of managed it because the quality was, I thought, pretty good. Design was good. Joel had fresh ideas when he took it on in 2012. We rode the wave as long as we could. Lord knows we tried. And once we bought Bass Player, that was kind of the death knell. That was always the younger of the two magazines. But I can honestly say 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, we were becoming the biggest magazine in the world for bass. We were winding Bass Player in like you wouldn't believe. The story goes in 2016, Martin Sims and our guys from the magazine were at NAMM, and they had all the magazines stacked up. I think there was a wall where you could just take a copy. Yeah, Bass Player, BGM, other titles from around the world. BGM had completely gone, and Bass Player still had virtually all their magazines in the rack, which told you something. The fact that everyone wanted a copy of that, they didn't want BP because it had gone downhill. It had become a bit of a pamphlet, a bit of a comic. There was more advertising than there was written content. When I had a look through Dave Swift's whole collection here, because we had to do scanning for covers and interviews and stuff when we moved over, and I looked at the issues around 2014, 15, 16, 17. I don't want to say it because I know the old writers will go, oh, there you go. I thought it was a joke. It was a joke. It was the thinnest magazine you've ever seen. There was so little content in there. It was like, how can you charge that for that? I couldn't, and I could see what we were producing, and it was like, this, you can do better. And that's kind of what sealed their death knell. Once the publisher had both titles, to produce Bass Player cost a fortune. To produce BGM was a lot less. That's how we won that argument. And there we are. So now it's just a free-flowing website, and it's on Music Radar, and if it's your thing, great. There it is. I would have carried on writing for it, but I wasn't invited to by the current publisher. I never heard anything from the new editor or the publisher once Joel left. No one contacted me, no emails, nothing. We were just left in a vacuum, and that's fine. It is what it is. You know, the editor could ask me to write. The editor could ask me to write, and I'd give him my answer, and it wouldn't be one he'd want. So, having worked for him before, not my bag, I'm afraid. Real Guitar Shredder. That's right, very good. Thank you very much for that super chat. Much appreciated. Let's have a look. Comments. Andy Stratford, fantastic quality. I presume you mean BGM. You loved it. Thank you.
It was greater than. It was way better than BP. It was way better than BP.
Up there. They're all up there. It was, and no. Up until about, I'd say until Joel got involved, we were good, but we weren't as good as we could be.
Well, BP has a different kind of flavor.
To be fair, when we were with Oyster House, that was a young company trying things, and it stayed until 2012. When we went to Blaze, by that point, the magazine had been around for 10 years. Blaze had fresh ideas, and you can tell if you look at the issues after BGM had been resurrected, and went into 2013. The whole visual side of it went up. It looks amazing. I know if I go back in the older days, like 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, we were trying to cram. It felt like we were cramming in so much. Okay, we're trying to give people value for money, but it was literally like stuff was shoehorned into pages. Once we got into 2013, it's kind of like it had a feel about it. It had an atmosphere about it, and you could read without your eyes hurting. You know, does that make sense? You know, we had a format for things, and it just looked nice. It looked good. It looked professional.
It looked professional, right?
Laid out really well. And
that was the important thing. That was the important thing, because I mean, I remember reading both, and I mean, I've got a stash of BPs out there on the shelf in the other room, and I mean, the quality difference was very apparent if you held them side by side.
Yeah, that's
because
what I'm
the
BG was
BGM,
like that.
right?
BGM had like
Well,
120
not only
pages.
that, right? Not only that, but if you looked at them and you started flipping through both of them together, you could tell there was a difference in choices for how it was done, even the paper quality, the color selection, all that. It was, you said it a moment ago, you said professional. And BG was much more professional, I think, overall than BP. And I mean, I read them both, so, you know, I understand.
Yeah, it's, I mean, things like paper quality are out of our hands. That's publisher stuff. But Joel, I say Joel and I say it as though I was working on the desk next to him. We both work from home. But I was kind of his wingman. So he would come, because he won't mind me saying it. Joel's not a great bass player. He can frimic around a bit, but he's not a gigging bass player. But he's a great organizer, and music history he knows, because he used to write for Record Collector and a whole bunch of other things, as well as all the great books he's written. But he wasn't a bass player. But I was out there gigging 5-6 nights a week. So he could say, take these basses out, take these strings out, take these pedals out, try them, test them, write up a review and send it back to me. And I'd turn the stuff around as quick as I possibly could. So he would know, if I said it was crap, he'd know. One of the last reviews we did before BGM stopped was a Kinsman amp that got sent to us by JHS. It was a 30-watt amp. It was absolute, with the, I'm trying to be polite here, it was utter toilet. It was crap beyond belief. And he said, your review's very negative. I said, because it's crap. He said, you've got to justify it. I said, you haven't read the review. I've justified it. It's awful. It's badly put together. The speaker isn't up to it, and they're charging over 100 quid for it. Crap. 30%. No more. He went, are you sure? Can you back it up? I said, I'll back it up as much. I'll video me playing through it if you want. It's dreadful. He said, but we can be, you know, we help JHS. I said, they don't deserve it if they're putting an amp like that out for 100 quid. It's awful. I said, if you don't want to print it, don't print it. I said, but I'm not going to say it's good and it's not. He said, is there no way you could gloss it up? I said, no, it's what it is. It's what it is. Out of the box, plug in, and it's just rattling and farting, and no, just bad. And that's the review it got. But I'll always justify here on the channel. I can't do a review of something and say it's great, and some kid goes and buys it and said, oh, it's fallen to bits, it's crap. It's no, be honest. Be honest. And we were never. I've had people cast aspersions on Bass Chat. Oh, they must have been paid for the reviews. Oh, you know, I'm sure companies. No. We never did that. We never did that. I have never done a review where either I was said, oh, you can have this if you say that. No. I always wrote a review totally honestly. If something was good or bad or indifferent, I'll back it up with why it was good, bad, or indifferent. But I'd never do a biased review. And Lord knows it cost us at BGM when I did the review of the Warwick Infinity. And I know some people know that review because I gave it 2 out of 5. It was awful. Little did I know it was a bass that had been spec'd by the magazine as a competition prize. But the editor got the bass and went, I can't play this. And he took it to the guitar show in Birmingham in, 2006. And everyone that played it went, that is dreadful. It's awful. And what it was like the Olympics. They so far into the body, but as a 34-inch scale, it felt like 37-inch. And literally your arm was off the neck and you weren't at the F. And it was like, that's not any good. And I remember saying, is this 35? Is it 36? No, it's 34. And I measured it. It was like, oh, Jesus, it is. I said, but it's unplayable. It literally is unplayable. And they said, well, we'll stand by whatever you say. And then I found out 3 years after the event, oh, yeah, that bass was a competition prize. We spec'd it. It's like, what? And you got me to write the review on it. Anyway, we didn't get anything from Warwick for about 2.5 years. Nothing. all advertising cancelled, all product reviews cancelled. I'll stand by it. It was crap. It was crap. So unless you wanted a Warwick Infinity that had a 34-inch scale, but the bridge was literally, if you put your hand over the upper bout and dropped your hand over where you would expect the rear pickup to be, that was the first part of the bridge. Second part of the bridge was past your hand. You actually had to move your arm across like that to be on the bridge pickup. How can that be right?
No thanks.
No, didn't work for me. So that was it. So I always said, you know, whenever people casted aspersions on forums that we were paid for reviews, I wasn't. Never, not once. I just got paid for writing reviews, doing the features and whatever work I had to do for the mag, but I certainly wasn't paid to say nice things.
Okay.
There we go.
And we're at half 11.
There we go. I know it's rattled around quite quick, isn't it? Andy Stratford, Jeremy Clarkson was the same. He told it like it was. Yeah, but he's a cock.
He can't lie.
Ask Andy Stratford if he still has a JD lying about.
Well, see, wait for his reply.
There you go.
Wait for his reply. We'll wrap up shortly.
No worries.
He's laughing, so either yes or no. Yeah, we work on.
He knows that I know.
We work on consonants and vowels on this channel.
Right.
Text is good. Text is your friend. Well, I have to say, tonight's live chat in the views arena is the lowest of the 5 we've done in vertical format.
Oh.
Quite interesting.
Maybe it's because a lot of people are on holiday with kids. Perhaps.
Could be that. I can tell you on this side of the pond, they start school in a week.
Starting school
for the next year. Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Andy Stratford, he'll be getting it next year, hopefully.
Okay. Well, you know. So I have to ask Andy. I forget where he is, but you know we have to have curry coming along. So Andy, curry time.
I don't think the restaurant's going to have room for all the people you're inviting.
Well, we just have a big. We're just having a big bosh. That's all it is.
Going to be us lot.
It's going to be a big curry bosh.
I'll leave you to settle the bill.
Nah, we all go Dutch.
Right. Andy, can I have details of Nick's thing? Yeah, if you just go to... Actually, I'll find it.
His page, actually. He posted it to his page.
Oh, what, on Nick's page?
Yeah, she posted it up on Nick's page, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, helps if you write the right thing, Michael John. There we go. Oh, there's me. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. That was last weekend. Good Lord. Oh, the time flies.
Yep, sure does.
Where is it? I can't see anything on this page.
Let me look. I thought she stuck it up there.
I thought she did. Unless I've scrolled too quick and gone past it. But...
have a look.
Oh, I ain't seeing it.
Let me see.
Let's have a look. It's on Ali's page.
Yeah, it is on Ali's page, right?
There we go. Let me see, what's the best way of doing this? I'll just send you the Facebook link.
Yeah, do that. That makes
Click
sense.
on that, Andy. September the 7th, Peterborough, Carter's Bar. It's an outdoor thing. I'm guessing they've got an indoor thing as well. And I think it's from about midday. I had a friend request from her last week. Anyone else? No, I'm already friends with Ali.
Me too.
So you should be able to see that. So it's from midday. It's raffle on the day. Grand prize draw for the bass, the Midas bass. Bunch of different bands, and that's it. and it'll be a blast. Even if I don't play, I'm not that worried, because I can just see it being a bit of an organisational nightmare. But it'll be a chance to hang out and do all the things that weren't necessarily easy to do at his funeral.
Right. Well, since I had to do that on live stream, so it'll be even more fun being present in body for the event. Because I had to do everything from the cameras in the cathedral, you know.
There you go.
Yep. My Stu just messaged and said he sent a poster.
Posted to Andy as a message in Facebook. Splendid. Well done, sir.
Thanks, Stu. Yeah.
Right. Just scroll through those.
Be a good visit for us all.
It'll be a long old day.
Well, there's that. So we might have to see if there's a curry spot in Peterborough for lunch. You know.
Well, I think that's going to be a bit tricky because it starts at midday.
Right.
And generally here in the UK, curry places tend to shut probably around 3-4 o'clock, and then reopen for an evening thing.
Gotcha. Well, that just means maybe. Well, I'm only kidding, actually, but I mean, on the way in, you know, have a go.
I think. Well, we'll see what's near the place, and then we can sort of hatch a plan nearer the time.
Yeah. If not, it's no big deal, because I think I'll have everybody.
There'll be plenty of places to eat. It's just what his day ends up being. You know, how long are some of these bands playing for? It's, you know, I don't know what time it finishes. Does it say that?
No, it doesn't. It just says goes on.
So, you know, does it go on till 8, 9, 10, midnight? I'm
sure. Do they have a noise? Do they have a noise law for that kind of thing?
I know not. Okay. And again, if it rains, is it going to get taken indoors? Right. I don't know. Sure. These are all things that I'm yet to find out. You've seen before, didn't read it. I don't know. Where do we get these people from? Right, it is 25 to 12.
Right.
3 hours, 35 minutes.
Time for the glass of wine.
No, I had enough of that. I'll finish the bottle on Thursday with the cake.
With the cake, yes. Right.
Thank you, everyone, for making the 5th anniversary such a blast. It's a pleasure doing this every week. So thank you, gents, for all your help tonight. All the others who've been on here and have departed. Is it a jam thing? At the moment, Andy, I can't say yes or no, because it's not our thing. It's up to the family. They've got a couple of bands playing. There will be, I would imagine, based on his funeral, hundreds of musicians there. This is something I was talking about earlier. At the moment, I'm there, Rich is there, Jamie's there. We don't know. Are we playing? Are we not? Are any of the bands going to provide backing to other people getting up? We don't know anything. I don't personally think it's going to be a jam thing, because the likelihood is that would become just a free-for-all mess, and you basically have a load of people trying to jam and everyone's just going to leave. That's what I generally see it when it becomes a free-for-all. It's just everyone's like, oh, it's a mess. Hopefully it won't be, but we don't know. I don't know what the organization is yet. We'll find out. So on that note, gents, it's time for bed. Richard, pleasure. Jamie, good to see you. Speak to you shortly. Boys and girls, thank you very much. 5th anniversary. I will do another live chat on Thursday, an impromptu one. It's not planned in, but if you want to join me at some point Thursday evening, I will do an impromptu. I'll have a cake. We'll have some wine. We'll have natter. It'll be fabulous. Zuma, been lurking, keeping the stream alive. Again, happy 5th. Thank you very much, sir. Well done.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say goodnight to these gents, bring them off camera. So, boys, see you next week. Take it easy.
See you then.
Yeah, cheers.
Right. Thank you very much. Splendid. Live chat 124, done and dusted. I will catch you on Thursday if you have time to drop into the impromptu live chat. Otherwise, I will see you next Tuesday for live chat 125. 125 live chats. Blows my mind. But here we are. Anyway, I will catch you later in the week. Have a great weekend. If you're playing, travel safely, get home safely, enjoy your bass playing first and foremost. I will see you next Tuesday for Live Chat 125. I'll catch you sometime in the week. Take it easy. See you next time. Bye-bye.